alive.
We are live.
Totally
Hello,
live.
hello.
Gosh, I love alive.
Welcome everyone to Blackwater D&D, where oh no.
You lost
He's
it.
forgotten it. Yes.
He was so ready. For
he
some
was so
context, he was
excited
so
for it.
excited.
I
for this.
came up with a
so much.
I came up with a winner 8 minutes ago and it slipped my brain. Look, this idea I had for an opener was this big. You should have seen it. It was on the oh god. Wait, I got it. Okay, hey, I'm gonna start over. Hello, we're live. Oh my god, we're live.
Live. We're so live.
Welcome to Blackwater D&D, where no, that doesn't make sense. What I was gonna say is dreams don't always come true, but you can certainly try, and the verbiage is all wrong. It's like
this was your banger. You were like, I got a banger tonight.
even knew at the time. I'm like, I think I'm gonna hate it when I say it out loud. It's like dream logic. When it was inside my head, it made perfect sense. I'm like, yeah, this rowboat, belongs to my local Walmart, and like, like whatever the fuck. Gosh, hey everybody, I'm gonna try one more time. This one's fresh off the dome.
Okay, we love that.
We're not live. We're not live. We're live. It's so good to
us.
see you. Welcome to Blackwater D&D, where no.
Wait, I want to say something. I want to say something really quick because we've got a bit of a hype train going.
Whoa!
And while we do appreciate
everyone.
that very, very much, we also have a subathon coming up in less than a month. So if you want to save that energy, if you're like feeling really like you want to drop some gift subs, hold on to it. Hold on to it for the future.
Welcome to Blackwater D&D, where failure is fun.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
I'll massage it. There's a kernel of goodies. Hopefully figure it out by the subathon.
That's pretty good.
We're excited for this fucking subathon.
We're excited for the subathon. We've got some stuff recorded. There's going to be some pre-recorded stuff that we're putting in so that I am allowed to sleep.
Have we talked about the dope shit we're going to drop if we like fucking brick it on? Like, if we do well on this?
We've alluded to it, but we can talk a little bit more.
We've talked about one of the goals.
Tell them what they're going to win. Tell them what they're going to win, Em. What are they going to win if
Well,
we,
you guys,
if we sub
at home.
Well, you guys, for the folks at home, we are preparing for our subathon. And if you don't know about our subathon, it is happening December 5th, starting at noon. Pacific Standard Time, and has the potential to go all the way until Saturday to the next Blackwater stream. We are doing a 48-hour minimum. Holy mackerel, we are getting a lot of content together, hanging out with a lot of really wonderful folks, getting some really cool things that we are going to bring to you. Some of these one-shots, holy bananas. They're just, the names themselves are just a chef's kiss. But we're calling it, it's like a subathon, but it's also a stream drive. So what we're doing is we are trying to raise some funds for our stream. First off, to upgrade some of our equipment. Keeping a stream running does have costs and all that kind of stuff. And so we want to make sure that we can upgrade our equipment to make sure our audio and our cameras are the best possible things to bring you that quality, good D&D. The next thing that we are fundraising for, kind of that higher tier item, is an animated intro.
There it is.
Featuring our characters. Sean is currently...
Oh no!
We lost Janice. Oh no!
I'm between worlds.
Yeah, I'm still in the right spot.
I'm in the right spot. Myself and Tim and Adam are in the same spot.
It's the top row versus the bottom row.
Top row versus bottom row.
Funky.
Well, you know what? We're just the internet is a strange place.
Yeah, Sean,
sometimes.
if you lean one way and Len, if you lean in as well, Sean, lean the other way.
Are we kissing?
He's back. He's back. Wonderful.
The
will they, won't
they energy.
We're going to play some tic-tac-toe and move around. But while I do that, we are in talks with an amazing company to produce there's a new song. We have a new song that is going to be the backdrop for this. You might have seen on our Instagram a little bit of Adam in the recording booth that Tim and I have at our house. Oh my gosh. So it is just a delight. The song is a banger, and we can't really release it to you. Mish
gets it. This guy gets it.
Knows what's up.
Yanis is frozen again in the excitement for what's coming.
Pure excitement.
Oh, there he is.
This minute-long epic, we want to see it animated with these wonderful characters. So we are in talks to get that happening, but we need a little bit of help to do that. So that's one of the things that we are funding. We are also fundraising for an in-person studio that we can play
Mm.
together in, because as
Yes.
our as our bubbles and our circles open up and as our pandemic becomes an endemic, we want to transition to
Such a
What does that
bummer.
mean?
it
What does
means
that
it's just
mean?
like it's like the flu. It's something that
Oh.
it's
Just
like the
around
flu.
forever
It's
now,
just
I
around
guess.
now. We want to start transitioning back to where we started this thing, which was playing in person. And so to do that, we need some funds to do that. And we have a really crystal idea in mind about what we want, and we want to make sure it is something that feels really right for us and looks really fucking dope. And then we have
Mhm.
equipment to do that. So these are all the things that we're fundraising for. There will be that you can type !donate to find out some info about donating. You can find !goals that we will start releasing a list of goals in a long time, or not in a long time, in a short time, and then !drive to find out a little bit of info. It's not as updated as it could be yet, but it's
We're
getting
working on
there.
it.
So
We're working on it, yeah.
We're working on it. And we'll
December
start
5th.
And then during the
Mark your
actual
calendars.
subathon, you'll be able to do an !mark rewards to see
Yes.
the stuff that you can get for yourself for personal sub donation goals and personal donation goals.
There is a lot of it.
'cause there's
Some of
cool
them
stuff
will
that
be,
we've worked out.
I'll tease a couple of them.
Yeah.
You donate a certain amount of money, I'll paint you a mini. I'll buy you and I will paint you
Yeah.
a mini.
Yeah.
Another one, Tim will spend some time world building with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
There's
it's gonna be
some cool stuff in there. There's some
really
stuff in
cool, sweet stuff in there. So if you want to hang out with us for a week, please come hang out at our subathon and stream drive. So with that, I'm going to transition into some announcements here before we jump into that good D&D. A big thank you to our sponsors, Legendcraft, a nerdy woodworking company from Calgary. We are also proud to be sponsored by Modern Arcana, makers of fine shirts, prints, and mugs with 5e spells on them. Oh my gosh, their designs are so lovely. I wear my Revivify shirt all the time. So please check them out, and you can type !sponsors in the chat, or !legend, or !modern, and all that kind of stuff will come up. Enter the code Blackwater at checkout for a discount. Love is always to our dice goddess Keisha, who has made custom dice for our characters. Check her out at Fairy Dragon Dice, and also our amazing campaign artist, the incomparable Tiana Kovacevic. You can find her at miss._Marson on Instagram. All of our official campaign art for this campaign and beyond is done by her. She also, our character art will be in an intro. The character art that she's done will just be in this intro. Tiana's losing her mind about it. I'm losing my mind about it. It's gonna be great. That's one of the things we're fundraising for. Speaking of art, do you want to get that art on your bod and on stuff? You do. I'm working on temporary tattoos every time you say that.
Neck tattoos, not temporary.
Neck, real tattoos. Type !merch to find a link to our Redbubble store, where you can find a bunch of designs on products like shirts, hoodies, shower curtains, aprons, journals, hats, and more. One of our amazing mods, Good Fork, posted in our Discord about a Blackwater bundle that they brought home, including socks, a journal, a Clack travel mug. That is just a delight that I really want. So please head on over to our merch store and have some fun merch times for yourself. Speaking of Discord, our Discord is an amazing place. We tease a whole bunch of stuff there. Type !Discord in the chat to find a link, a permanent link to our Discord, and come hang out with us there. That's the after party. This is the real party. So hang out with us here on Twitch. Well, that's happening. A big thank you to those of you who subscribe to us. If you subscribe to us, save those subscriptions for our subathon. So please sub to us then during our amazing.
If you have
subathon
in the next week or two, you have a re-up and you're like, oh, I want to re-up it. If you hold on to it,
that
you
extends
make the
the time
go longer,
so you see more content.
Yeah.
You can also you can use your Amazon Prime for that, or you can you pay money for a subscription. Both of those count. We also have a coffee, and we will be accepting donations through there, as well as through a direct donation link. All of the ways for you to donate if that's something that you wish to do. We also just really appreciate having you here. This is a very cool thing that we get to do every week, and something we're immensely proud of. So please, please, please hang out with us, because we love you very, very much. What else am I doing here? YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful place. All of our entire catalog is there. We are back to the main campaign, as you can see, but if you're behind, go get caught up. There's like 550 hours of content on there. Have some fun for yourself. There's also some YouTube exclusives over there, like audio only content, and some more stuff that we are going to be releasing into the future. Before I get into our programming for this week, Lennon, what are you doing on your channel this week?
Animal Crossing probably, and I think Dead by Daylight. I just started tearing down my whole island on Animal Crossing on a whim, so probably a lot of Animal Crossing.
You did find Shep though.
I did
You found
find Shep.
Shep?
It took me 591 tickets to find Shep.
I heard about this.
It took
all
me
week.
6 days. It took me 6 days and 591 tickets, and I hunted for at least 6 hours each day.
Yeah, it was impressive. So if you want to go hang out with Lennon while they play a bunch of Animal Crossing, please go do that.
Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday this
Wednesday,
week.
Thursday, Sunday this week. Adam.
Probably nothing because I'm really busy right now.
Yeah,
I got
Adam
a lot of stuff on my plate.
With what?
Oh yeah, with what?
So Adam, for stuff behind the curtain, Adam is the one who is helming everything for our stream drive. So like, please send him your scheduling and strong vibes for that one. And Cody, who is not with us this evening, he is out doing life stuff. Cody also streams. He has some really fun, wholesome times playing games, just chatting. So please go hang out with his lovely, beautiful self over on his channel, which is Cody VM here on Twitch.
I will say I might try to sneak one in around noon on Monday. Maybe.
You fucking madman.
Maybe.
You cray cray banana.
Maybe.
So for us over the next week, we're back on Wednesday with DM Roulette. Oh my gosh, it's very exciting. We
very
were a
cool
month.
guests.
We have some very cool guests. We are very excited to welcome Jasper Cartwright from Three Black Halflings, our very, very good friend who we adore very much, to the table. We're also welcoming Jay Casual. If you've been around our Discord, you know him very well. They're also over on the initiative order. They have DM'd their wonderful person, and we're very excited to welcome him too. And me. I'm going to be at the table too, which is going to be really, really fun. So this is my first time playing
Very
DM Roulette.
exciting.
So it'll be myself, Sean, Adam, and Tim, as well as our two special guests. So please come join us Wednesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for some good chaos. And then we're back next Saturday, same great time, same great channel for this beautiful main campaign. And we're 1 week closer to our subathon.
Yeah, is that the second to last one before the subathon?
Well, I will say that on the session that we play after the stream drive, which is December 11th,
Which will be episode 75 for Twitch.
but it's real life session 150.
Yeah, which is
So
kind
this
of
campaign has been going for 150 sessions as of that.
which
Bananas.
I didn't know when I suggested this time slot. So
But it's perfect. It
just
works
lined
really
up.
well. So it's very exciting. So lastly, whether you're new with us tonight or you've been with us for ages, thank you so much for your support. We love you immensely, and thank you so much for hanging out with us and being at our table. Something also very important to talk about is today is the Trans Day of Remembrance. So please, please, please champion trans joy. Trans healthcare saves lives. Using people's correct pronouns saves lives, and not just for trans folks, for folks who have been on the receiving end of cis heteronormativity as well. Honor people's identities. It's exceedingly important. It's truly, truly life-saving, and we send so much love to all of our trans siblings out there in the world, because we love you all very, very much. And no matter how you roll, you are welcome at our table. So with that, can we, Corey? Is Corey with us tonight?
Corey's
Corey,
with us
can you roll the clip?
tonight.
Corey, roll that clip.
Corey.
Corey.
You know what I did do? I fucked it up. Apologies for the technical difficulties. I've been doing a lot of work on the OBS, and somewhere in the mix, the intro disappeared.
No, Adam,
So-
Okay.
dude, that's not on you, Adam.
That's
That
on
is
Corey.
all Corey.
That's on
Corey's
Corey.
He's
Corey's
gonna
in
hear about
trouble.
it.
That's on Corey. We went to
I-
throw to the intro. I did
All
such a
good.
good throw. And it's all good.
I clicked it and went, that's the break.
That
Fuck.
is so Corey, man. That is so Corey.
Such
Adam, if we
typical-
don't have an intro, then you just have to sing it yourself.
do it.
You know this.
Right now.
Ba-da-doo-yum, ba-da-doo-doom, yeah, 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 yeah. When you're stuck in quarantine and there's nothing on TV, come on down. Come and see Blackwater D&D. Ba-da-da-dum. Yeah.
I
Love
feel like
that.
that's back to the
We-
old days when we all used to sing the intro while it played when we
Yeah,
were just
yeah,
playing
yeah,
on
yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, you know we never actually went to intro, right?
No, it's just Adam saying it live every time. He's
No,
that
No,
good.
no, I mean
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, I went.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I was confused
Yeah,
because
there
I
is
thought
no-
we were on intro,
I
and
went
I was
to
like,
I went to break screen and then went whoops,
and then just panicked and went
the
back
intro
to the
is no
regular.
longer in the OBS for me. I've been moving a lot of stuff around. It got
Dude,
lost
again,
in the mix.
not
It's
on you,
Corey.
man. That's
Corey's
Corey.
fucked with my
Corey's fault.
OBS.
Corey.
It's 100%.
My dear
I
Tim
honestly
Carlson.
don't know why we let him into the building
Who
every
knows?
time.
Who knows?
We need him. We need him.
Take it
all
away,
right.
Tim.
So, for those of you just joining us tonight, last week, Blackwater headed to Svel with Callie's mother and her squadron of battle angels. As they approached the city, they witnessed tears in the material plane where the negative energy plane was pushing through. An all-out assault on the city was underway. They were attacked by a ghostly dragon and night gaunts in the sky above the city. And once they overcame the dragon, they made their way into the city, intent on finding their friend Kern Burnman, only to discover Kern desperately trying to defend his family. As they approached, he was killed and his soul absorbed by a priest of the Matron of Vengeance. As Nepenthe rushed to save her friend, another figure stepped from a nearby tear, an armor-clad skeletal revenant who attempted to push Nepenthe into the negative energy plane. The revenant escaped as the tears disappeared as quickly as they had arrived, leaving devastation in their wake. Blackwater was teleported back to Wulfrene, where Callie's mother implored them to recruit the Primordial Titans to help the gods strengthen the barrier between the negative energy plane and the material plane, and stop the Matron of Vengeance from merging the planes. As Blackwater went to see their loved ones before they embarked on this undertaking, Nepenthe arrived at home to find Kokanee sitting with a familiar visitor holding her daughter. And that is where we pick up at Karenin Estate, as you see the familiar Kenku in your living room, softly.
When I step into the room, can I roll an insight check? I want to take a vibe check of the room. Like,
Sure.
is Kokanee, is he appeared like nervous, or is like,
Yeah, make an
Yeah.
insight check.
okay. That is going to be a 25.
Okay. So you notice a few things. That Softly is holding your daughter, and Kokanee is holding Damien. You can see that she doesn't have any weapons. You can see there's tea laid out between them on the table. It seems quite cordial, and she seems genuinely excited to see you. Kokanee seems very calm.
Okay.
As
And like, I look like trash at the moment.
Yeah.
I look awful.
As you walk in, like, Kokanee looks up and he comes over. Here, I let me help you. And he kind of like holds your face and he casts Cure Wounds at 5th level. As you feel, 32 points of healing kind of come back to you.
I just like exhale a big sigh of relief.
Take a
Thank you.
seat. There's
Thank
tea.
you.
It's still hot.
Thank you. I like take Damien from him, and I just like cuddle my sweet baby, and I sit down.
And you see Softly is wearing similar robes to those that you saw on the priests in Svel. High Priestess.
Softly, I'm so glad to see you. Are
So glad to see you.
Are you well? Are you safe?
Softly safe. Softly well.
Where were you called to the matron? Did you have to go?
Softly go to matron. Softly safe.
Must you return?
Softly return. And she looks, she can tell, she looks at you for a second and you can see like her desire to get something across, and she pauses for a second, and you watch as she holds the baby with one hand. She reaches into her robes, and you can see she kind of pushes it like a few layers away, and you can see she pulls out her holy symbol of Nepthysicat.
So you go to the matron under illusion of pretense, but you wish to stay with her grace.
Illusion.
Right.
Softly, safe. Her grace. She holds her holy symbol. We watch as she kind of like very delicately tucks it back in, kind of hiding it under the layers.
You are missed, Covenant sister. They miss you very much.
Softly miss you. Softly miss sister.
I know you can't go back right now, but know that when you can, there is always hope for you. I promise. No matter what happens, that is your home. Do you have any... Yes,
High priestess.
yes,
Matron.
yes. Do you have any idea what she plans to do? Or where?
Matron. Where? High priestess.
We saw her try to break through in Svel.
Matron saw High priestess.
She saw me. Yes. She tried to pull me into the rift, into the negative energy plane.
Matron saw High priestess.
God damn, I wish I was smarter. I wish I'm trying to figure out what she's trying to say.
You see, she kind of looks around the room, and she looks at a desk that you have kind of nearby, and there's like a map of Wulfar.
Yes.
And she goes over and she puts her hand on it, and you see she like moves her hand over it. Matron saw High priestess as she moves her hand over the map.
She saw me here. And she intends, is she following me? She's tracking me and trying to pull me in.
Matron tracking High priestess.
Right.
Oh.
Right. I look to Kokanee. You need to get the children out of the city now. You need to go. At least you can't stay here alone. At Karenin.
We'll go to Caradoc.
Please. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. She would already know if she's tracking you. She would already know that we're here.
Right. God is great. Is that her intent, softly, is to take me and pull me in? As vengeance of some kind? Do you know?
Softly, not know.
All right. She looks like genuinely concerned for me. Like, does she look as if she's like...
She seems like she wanted you to know, like that is something that she has discovered, that she
Yes.
needed. That's why she's here. She needed to tell you that.
Right. I would...
Like you would know that she's essentially spying on them.
Yes. I take her hands. I put Damien down and take her hands. You have always been so steadfast in your faith to her grace and your assistance of me and I. There are no words to tell you how grateful I am for you. And I know the danger that you put yourself in, even being here, in any sort of close proximity to me.
She takes your hands. Softly, grateful for High Priestess.
I would take her in, Put my temple to hers.
Turns to yours. Softly grateful.
Where will you go now? You go back
Softly go back.
to the negative energy plane?
She shakes her head. No,
To Manta?
no.
I would unfurl the map. Where?
She takes the map and she flips it over.
The Shadowfell?
Yes.
So the matron is gathering her forces, even though she cannot get there herself, in the Shadowfell. And then she will rip the planes apart and bring herself back. But that's not going to happen. We'll do everything in our power to prevent that from happening. I cannot even stay a night. We have to go now. I have to go back to. I have to
Softly go back to.
If you need protection, if you need to get out, we can. I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. We can hide you at Philenis. We will do anything. You are one of Her Grace's covenant sisters. We will always keep you safe. As best we can.
You see she kind of holds her chest. Her Grace, keep softly safe.
Put my hand over my own holy symbol. I can imagine so. Did you see Wisha? Is Wisha there too?
Softly not see Wisha.
All right. Please keep an eye for her. I know she was one of the first to go back to the matron when called, but I have spent much of my life with her. I learned so much, and even if she does not wish to return, even if her allegiance changes, knowing she is alive would bring me a peace I don't think I can put words to. Is there anything I can do for you now? Do you need anything at all?
Softly go now.
All right. Be safe, please. And please call if there is anything. Anytime.
Softly go.
I I put my forehead to hers and just silently pray to Nephthys to watch over her for everything she is trying to do for us and me, because she's putting herself out so far on a limb for me.
She kind of steps back. She goes over to the kids. She kind of nuzzles each of them. She bows to Kokanee. And you watch as she leaves the estate.
Has she been here long?
No. She was here maybe a half hour before you got here.
I can imagine that was not simply a fortuitous returning. Her Grace might have told her that we were going to be here.
Is everyone okay?
I would gesture down just to the utter state of everything. She tried to pull me into the rift. They almost got me in too.
See, he kind of reaches over and starts mending your robes.
Thank you. I have an hour or two.
Right. Well,
Tell me everything. Tell me everything about them. We just sit
Yeah.
And just play with the kids. Just like
Sounds good. All right.
just like hold my little baby so close. Oh my god.
All right. So you spend the rest of the afternoon with the kids. Is there anything anyone else would like to do in Wulfrene before you reconvene to head out?
I would like to, we don't need to roleplay this out, but I would like to tell Kokanee to alert everyone in Caradoc, to alert like literally every dignitary that we have come into contact with, because he has sending about about what is happening to ready their towns, ready their cities, and if he can try sending to King Evard while I'm there.
Okay. He tries to send to King Evard, and it does not. Nothing happens.
Shit. Okay. Okay. And then once we had spent our time, I would head back to the group.
Okay.
Very long, tearful goodbye, and would go back to the group.
All right. So you all head back. Is there anything? I know we touched on some stuff last week. Was there anything anyone missed before we head out? Okay. So you all gather together. And where are you heading?
Elemental plane of Earth, right?
I would offer potentially plane of air first.
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah.
my reasoning being this: from what we know of the Dawn War, the Estitia was corrupted first by the Chained Oblivion, and she began the war with the Primordial gods. And Garrix followed the fire. Primordial came in after, and then Grumbar joined, and then Akadi at the end reluctantly joined, only to save her brother. Akadi was also the first to surrender, and she is on very good terms with Arethis. Arethis helped create her plane, the plane of air. So if we need a Titan to get close to as on side as we can quickly, my guess would be on Akadi. And if Akadi is going to go in, my thought might be that Grumbar may follow, in essence to save her sister, or his sister, and then would be to go to Garrix, and then Estitia.
Oh, you think the logic holds up? Yeah.
Yeah, that checks
Backwards.
out.
Work backwards, because Garrix we don't know where he is. He is slumbering in the fire plane, from what the legends say, and Estitia doomed to the depths. Now I've seen Estitia, Kelly and I have, or maybe not. Maybe it was just me now.
Sounds like we're going to the elemental plane
I
of
think
Earth, and
one
I would
problem at a time.
real
Yes.
quick like to get a gift basket for
Cheeky.
the just for like the folks who have to deal with us every time we go up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
So some like seeds and berries and shit in there. You know.
Is that reductive?
No, I feel no. When they feed us there, they feed us generally berries and seeds
Right.
And a bug mash.
and a group. Yes, a
yeah,
bug.
mash.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in a couple like. Can we bottle some like Scar Slams as well? Like let's go Scar Fusion. in
Yeah,
there as
absolutely,
well.
right away.
Thanks,
Kale-
Dad.
Kayla, have you been with us to the plane of air before?
I don't think I have.
Well, you're in for a treat. It should be.
Yeah,
This is
bug mash sounds very delicious.
It's
The
actually,
birds
it's
and
actually quite
giants.
good. It's actually
awesome.
quite good.
the cider is very good. They do
Yeah.
make this like berry cider that is quite nice.
No, the bug mash is like, that's pretty good. Like if you just give it a try, it's like quite nice.
You ever eat shrimp?
Yeah. Or
It's a lot like
scampi. You've ever had scampi? If you've ever had scampi, you've had bug mash.
The bug mash is like it's the scampi of the sky.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell you what, those floating rocks, ooh, those are good.
We'll
But
take your
they
word for it.
I got some weird looks when I had some.
Yeah, I broke a molar, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah, I don't think they like us eating them.
I might bring my own food, but that's all right.
You're missing out then.
I think also we
Do you
should
want them to
rest.
box up some scrambled eggs or?
You know that it has
Eggs.
hair in it.
Yeah, that's the whole.
That's
Okay, you
kind of the point. It's the grit, that extra
can't buy
grit.
culture. I get it.
Tad is holding a little wooden box.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw it in. He'll want it. He'll want it later.
It's either
We
bug
just-
mash or scrambled eggs. It's one of the two.
Should we go now or what?
I can get us there today with the talisman, but we will need to rest once we're there. We have accommodation, so we
Yeah,
should do that.
Let's
but
get the
we'll-
lay of the land. See what's up.
Yeah.
And,
that works.
Kelly, I think something that we could try to do as well. Do you remember when we went to the, what did they call it? The gateway? Where you met Akadi the first time?
Callie would remember.
Mhm.
Lennon vaguely remembers.
Um,
That's where I got my tattoo, right?
yes.
I do. Yeah.
I think if anybody's going to be able to call Akadi, it might be you.
Okay, yeah.
She gave you her mark, and your
She did.
wings hold her energy. So
I will try that then. Yeah.
we'll be right behind you. So shall we hold hands?
Yeah, let's do it. Oh,
And we
I'm just kidding.
you
Classic. It's a classic. It's a classic. Lennon.
And I take us via talisman to the plane of air.
All right. So you arrive at the temple of
I
Akadi
didn't
in the
fucking
plane of
call
air,
first. Shit.
and you see
Didn't call.
uh,
Damn it.
some of the acolytes are like, "Oh."
We go to our little back area that we've been going to.
Bruce
recently.
kind of like looks over. You see him kind of look down. Oh,
Hi,
hey
Bruce.
there. Good eye.
Bruce. I hold
Welcome.
up my gift
Bruce.
basket.
I didn't know you were coming. Okay. Well, yeah, your rooms are ready. You haven't been using them, so there might be some. We've been using them for storage, but just fine. You can just move everything out of the way.
We
Are you
will-
staying long?
a night, maybe?
Okay, great. It's been a long time since you've done that, so that's great. Usually
Bruce,
you're in and
these
out.
are for you and whoever your
Flies
favorites are
down.
around here.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
There's some scar
Ooh.
fusion. There's some
Kinda
bugs
like-
and stuff from where we're from.
Oh, you have bugs where you are.
Yeah, we've got bugs. They're great. They
I didn't
fly,
know
they
that.
crawl, they swim. It's great. You're gonna love it.
Wow.
Do you have
Just
grubs? Do you have grubs in?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, grubs are
Yeah.
great.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. We got grabs.
Hey,
Tons
who
of
do
grabs.
Who should we talk to about? We're talking to us. We want to set up a meeting with Asticia.
No, Akadi.
Excuse
You
me.
think
I'm
it's
bad
like-
at names.
We should probably talk
Akadi.
to the high priestess.
We'd love to talk to.
Yeah,
Chi.
that'd be Chi. You got to talk to Chi about that. I'm
Whenever
just an
she's
acolyte.
whenever she's available.
Still? Man of your
Oh
talents?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Really?
yeah.
Oh.
It's not even been a year yet.
Oh, you're new.
I mean, newish. Like
You have
I've
such
been
an
here
old
longer
presence.
than you've been
I'd
coming
like to
here, but-
walk and talk and ask
it's
Bruce
been
about
longer
his
than
5-year
you,
plan.
But he sends word for Chi as you guys all get set up in the rooms, and yeah, there is in fact some storage. You see some like trainings, like staffs and things like that that get moved out by acolytes, and the room gets set up for you again, and you get tea brought to you, and as Chi comes down a few hours later, you see she kind of comes in holding the staff of Akadi. So, what are you here for?
Well, we have a problem on the material plane. The Matron of Vengeance is trying to push her way through from the negative energy plane and merge the planes. And we have been tasked to seek out the Primordial Titans. I know it sounds ridiculous even as I'm saying it, to help strengthen the barrier of the material plane. So we came here to talk to Akadi.
You seek an audience with Akadi.
Yes.
Even as High Priestess, I have only ever glimpsed the Storm Serpent. It was in the flash of a storm when I was anointed High Priestess.
Yes. That brings us to our predicament. Do you have any idea how we would begin? We have seen Akadi once. Well, Kelly has. The rest of us passed out.
Looks over. You have?
I have, yeah.
Hmm.
So I'd show. I don't know if I've shown my tattoo before. I'd show my tattoo. So
She kind of takes your hand. Oh. I've read about this. The mark of Akadi. I will look in the archives. You staying for the night?
Yeah.
Very well. I will see what I can find tonight, and I will bring it to you in the morning.
Thank you. It's very
course.
appreciated. As is your hospitality, as always.
Mm.
May I? I'm Kale. Hi.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Do you commune with her, or do you have some sort of like how does your relationship work? Do you speak to her?
No. It's not I don't pray to Akadi. It's more of a giving of thanks and a preservation. Preserving this place and giving thanks for all we have and everything that she provides for us. She is the reason we are able to live here.
It sounds like a very healthy give and take.
Yes. She has always protected us. And I believe she will continue to.
I would say if you know of a way, or if you find a way to reach her, I don't know, I can't speak for the group, but I can imagine having you accompany us might put us in good standing.
Perhaps. But you say you have all met with her before. Your friend there bears the mark of Akadi. And I do know that carries quite a bit of weight. That is not a mark given out lightly.
She's a queen, so, it makes sense.
You're a queen now? Congratulations.
I'm married to a queen.
Oh.
That,
I suppose that makes you kind of a queen.
Is that not how you... Anyways.
Well, I will go and look and I will think on what you've proposed. There will be food brought down.
Very appreciated. High
Of course.
priestess, thank you.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you for informing me of the goings-on of the material plane.
We're going to have to talk to all of them.
All of them?
The Titans, yes.
Oh. Well, I do not envy you.
No. It'll be one at a time. One at a time.
Yes, there's no love lost between some of them.
I can imagine some more than others.
Well, the worst thing they can say is no. You know, we give it our best shot. And, right? If you ask, they say no.
As she looks over at you, Callie, I would hide that when you go to meet Asticia. And she kind of taps on your hand.
Good to know. Thank you.
Well, I'm off to the archives. She kind of turns around, heads back out into the center of the temple and flies up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everything in here is fly oriented.
Oh.
Yeah, there are no stairs. It's
No
all flight based. So you all get settled in and food gets brought to you and you have your evening rest. You sleep. Morning comes as Chi comes back with a few other acolytes kind of holding scrolls in hand. And she kind of lays out one on the table. I found something.
Oh,
Yes, there is an ancient text, and she kind of unfurls this very, very old scroll very carefully. It refers to a place known as Stratus, where the sky ends. Those who bear the mark shall bend the lightning, and the passage will open. Akadi waits for those who brave the trial. And she shows, like, she kind of indicates, along with the text, there's a diagram of a runic circle. I believe this is how you open the gateway. I've had the acolytes draw one up in the center of the temple.
oh, all right. Good. Yes. So we have to find Stratus, and Kelly's bending the lightning. All
I
right.
believe she must bend the lightning to open the passage, but I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm a little excited. I've never seen this done before. I've never met anyone with the mark of Akadi. It has been quite some time.
Well,
I assume
suppose
we're gonna
Go
have
ahead.
to fly to this place, right? Wherever the Stratus is.
I believe you'll be able to take this portal, and
Oh.
it will take you there.
Fuck yeah, let's go. That's awesome. Chi. Fucking look at you go.
Thank you, High Priestess. This is most graciously received.
I can bend lightning, but I can't make it.
Ooh, I can take care of that. Like, just in case we need a little extra.
I may also be able to help.
Perfect. Tim, with our long rest,
Mhm.
did my strength come back?
Yes. it
Oh,
is.
thank God. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm assuming there's no time at the present. Is there anything anyone else needs to do while we're here?
No.
No. All right. Well, let's go. Let's get to it.
All right, so you head back out into the center of this open air temple, and you can see pretty much all of the acolytes. Like, it is like every floor is packed with acolytes kind of peeking over. It seems like word has spread, and this is quite a momentous occasion. As she brings you out, there's kind of this quiet that falls over all of the crowd as they're watching intently. And you can see the fairly large runic circle that's been done up in the center of the room. If you'd like, I can shoot lightning at you when you're ready.
Yes. Yeah.
And she goes over to you, Kale, as well. I've thought about your proposal. I don't think the trial is for me. But I wish you the best of luck.
I'll see if I can bring you something back.
I have everything I need. But you're kind.
That's kind of the point of a gift.
And she kind of steps back. Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready.
So you're all standing in the circle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she instructs you to kind of stand at the edge, Callie.
Yeah.
And you see she kind of like taps her staff, and you watch as lightning kind of whips up around it, and she hurls it at you. I believe there's a save to bend, or is it just you can do it once a day?
I can do it once a day, but I take half damage.
Okay. So she shoots it off at you. And you take...
I'm gonna cast Death Ward on myself, Tim.
Just as this is
Naturally,
happening.
I did the mind blank. Started the day with Callie.
Yeah.
I would have done it at the start of the day, but I'm saying it. I'm saying it now.
All right, so you take 10 points of lightning damage as you feel the electricity blast into you. You watch as you bend it, As you go to deflect it, you watch as the runes light up and almost carry it all the way back around to your other side, and you instinctually put your other hand up, and you create this kind of electric field around you, and this circular lightning stays in place. You can feel it between your hands, holding this as the whole floor starts to turn and spin into like a cloud-like mist, as you all start to feel yourself kind of like almost evaporate into the thin air, as Callie, as the like lightning kind of like arcs as this is all happening. You watch as it leaves one hand and it comes back around to you as you disappear as well. And you find yourself at the ancient palace of Stratus. You can see this floating island is home to this ancient palace where 6 massive stone pillars formed in kind of a circular shape, eroded from years of battering wind, which you can feel pushing at your back, hold up stone walkways that extend about 60 feet high. There's 4 floors, and you can see stone ladders connecting each floor. And the brilliant blue sky that seems to fully encompass this place all the way around. And you can see in the center, through the gaps in the pillars, a large statue of Akadi, the Winged Serpent, weaving through a marble carved cloud. And in its mouth is a large pearl. And you can see that the floor to this whole thing is kind of slanted upwards. And the roof is somewhat jagged with holes, and it almost looks like a stone nest. And you are standing in another runic circle.
So we can climb up?
You're in this circle. There's a bit of a walkway to the palace.
Okay.
You're probably about 20 feet away from it.
I'm going to take a moment, and I am going to cast Freedom of Movement on Allie. Just in case she needs to get a whole bunch of places. So I'm gonna you can use 5 feet of movement to break a grapple, and yeah, that's really good. So yeah, I'm gonna cast Freedom of Movement on Callie, and then I am going to. I meant to redo my spellbook, so I think that's it. I think that's what that's what I do before I get ready to go, and I'm good to go.
Okay. So you step from the circle?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you step from the circle, you watch the pearl disappears, and a thick cloud of fog begins to pour out of the marble statue. And despite this heavy wind that you now feel kind of kicks up behind you, the fog doesn't seem to be moving with the wind. It's filling up this whole tower. And you can see it's almost like a whiteout as you step into this palace.
Try and stay within 30 feet of me, everyone. Please. Unless we've got to fly somewhere. So I can keep you safe.
Copy
Yeah,
that.
right. I'm gonna go invisible. Fade from view.
All right. So where do you guys head to first?
Can you paint the picture one more time of like the options of where we can go?
You don't see much, so that you can see the 6 stone pillars that surround this whole thing. The floor is kind of slanted upwards, so the pillars at the back are shorter. The ones at the front are longer.
Okay.
In the center is this statue of Akadi kind of weaving through a marble cloud, and in its mouth was the pearl. It looked like, I would say with your passive perception between you and Finnan, it looks like there was maybe something written on the marble, but it was difficult to tell from where you were. So you'd have to get closer to see what that is. And then there's 4 floors of walkways that kind of go all the way around, and there's stone ladders that connect throughout the walkways up to the roof, which looks kind of like a stone nest.
Statue fast.
Yeah, it's definitely statue, but I think we probably are gonna want to end up at that nest. You know, big bird, land in the nest, we're all our babies. That's the hope.
All right.
Maybe those grubs will come in handy. Let's go up to the statue.
Save
All right,
some
so
in case
you-
Caleb got hungry later.
Head up to the statue.
Thank you.
And do any of you speak Orin?
Callie does.
I know Callie does.
So you see written on the marble the words, "When the pearl is returned home, the wise shall be rewarded."
I
And I
can believe
need
that.
everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Oh.
Oh God.
Hits.
Say that again. I was trying to see if I spoke Orin. When the pearl is returned.
When the pearl
The wise
is
will be
returned home,
rewarded.
the wise will be rewarded.
In the notes, get the pearl.
Get that pearl.
How big does pearl?
Basketball?
It's probably about the size of like a softball.
Cool.
We're playing football, y'all.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
I'm going to take a
Yeah.
risk because to open Google Chrome, I don't know which monitor it is on. But I need to see my character sheet. So I'm going to click Chrome. We're going to hope for the best. But
All right.
you might see... Yes! Yes! It was
25
50-50.
to 20.
21.
24.
Well done.
Uh, 20 to 15.
18.
18. 15 to 10.
12.
Busy
Oh.
reading. Callie's busy reading.
No,
And
we
what
love
was yours,
Neppy going
Callie?
before Callie.
What?
What was
Two.
yours, Callie? 2?
2.
Oh, we love Neppy going before Callie.
All right.
That big old 1-2 punch.
All right. Letters, you're up first.
What's the vibe? Do I know I'm in initiative?
Make a perception check.
Oh boy. 5.
5. Yeah, no, it seems fine. It's a little eerie out here, like with the wind and everything. Like, you feel it is very strong. Like, it is blowing pretty hard.
Enough to concern me? Or
To the point where, like, you know, if you were flying, it may be hard to fly. It might be harder than normal to fly.
at this point, Letters senses no immediate danger, correct?
No. No immediate danger.
Then Letters just fucking vibes, dude.
Listen to that wind. Oh man.
Finnan.
Yeah, Finnan would be like looking out for danger, but yeah, with no obvious threat. Can I just make a perception check to?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
Can I just roll that back a little bit? This is the fucking Temple of Air. There's gonna be flying involved. Letters just like, I think I know where this is going. He's gonna cast Fly on himself, and he's picking up on Neppy's putting down. He's gonna cast Fly on Callie as well, just to save her a turn in case things get crazy. You got a speed of 60. Have a good
Nice. Nice,
Get
nice,
yourself something
nice.
nice.
All right, yeah, Finnan, what was your perception?
Oh, good rolls today. As a 27.
27. In the wind, you can hear a pair of wings. It's hard to tell because they are, judging by the like beats between them, they seem like large wings.
Right.
But you can't see them at the moment, not in the fog.
Uh,
Your visibility is very low in the fog.
Quietly, from my invisibleness, I go, something is flying above us. Sounds big. Keep an eye out.
All
And
right.
then, can I hold my action?
Sure.
I'm just gonna hold
Hold it.
an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
If I see something approaching us with hostility, pew pew pew.
All right. It is the lair action now.
Oh boy.
Actually.
You love to hear it.
I love a lair.
Okay. So as you're all kind of standing there, there is a massive surge of wind. And I need all of you to make strength saving throws for me, please.
Oh,
God.
tits. I want to get my real dice.
This is not a breath attack, correct?
No.
Cool, love that.
This is just the wind from where you are.
Everyone gets my bonus, yeah?
Yeah, well, that's
Cool.
not gonna help me.
It's +4.
Plus 4.
Plus
Deck
4.
save.
26.
That's a success.
Did you say strength save, sorry, or dex
Or
save?
strength save, sorry. Strength save.
21.
21,
With
okay,
Callie's
that's a success.
22.
22, that's a success.
5.
25.
25, that's a success as well. So you watch as you all brace yourselves as you start to feel the wind, but Neppy, you get caught kind of unawares and you get blown 15 feet up this kind of slant and you get knocked prone.
Okay.
You're about 10 feet. The whole thing is probably about 60 feet across. And you were in the center, so you're about halfway to the other side. And the other side, there isn't any, there's no further walkway. It's literally, that's the end. It's off of this island.
Lit. Okay, great. Yeah. Note to self,
all right.
Don't fall off the fucking island. Okay.
It is Kale's turn.
So, what's the plan? Are we trying to get to the nest?
We want the pearl. Get the pearl. Be smart. You heard the tablet.
Okay, I think we should go to the nest. And as I say that, I will cast polymorph at 4th level.
Okay.
And turn myself into a giant owl.
Okay.
Nice.
Me dumb owl.
Dumb owl. All right. It is now the creature's turn.
Oh, God.
So as you are standing there, you hear this massive and you watch you're having a hard time seeing because of the white fog, but you watch as it the whole fog kind of shifts a bit as you can feel this gust of wind down. There seems to be a creature above you that is obscured by the fog, but I need everyone to make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Does that change because I'm prone?
I don't think so, no.
No? Okay.
No.
And I don't get Callie's bonus because I'm away from them, right?
Yes, you are away from them.
Natural 20.
Nice.
21.
18.
18?
10.
10.
9.
Okay, so Neppy, Callie, and Kale, you all fail, and you will take full damage. The rest of you will take half damage. As you feel the wind buffets you so strongly, you take 30 points of bludgeoning damage, half for those who succeeded. And Callie, Kale, and Neppy, I want you to make roll a d4 for me, please.
Oh no. I hate this game.
1, 3, 4. Okay, so Neppy, you get flung 20 feet.
Am I off the edge?
You can make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage to try to grab onto the pillar.
Okay.
As you fly by it, you watch Neppy just get flung off. Callie, you get flown in the other direction 20 feet. And Kale, you go to the left 20 feet.
Dexterity saving
thrown,
throw
and you're knocked prone.
at disadvantage?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Do I pew pew?
You can't see it, so you can make it a disadvantage. Because you can sense where it's above you.
Question. Is Neppy within 60 feet of me? I guess she went 20 and I went 20, so that's 40?
Yes, but you went to the side, so yes, she would be still within 60
Within
feet.
60 feet? I'm going to make it so you can roll at regular, not disadvantage.
Okay. I rolled both of those dice at the same time. So would you like me just to roll
Roll
again?
again.
Okay. Okay.
Not even.
Dex.
I assume that I can't see her since the fog's that thick.
You
But
saw
I
the
bet-
direction she went.
I can hear her fucking flying off. I'm just going to cast Featherfall on her.
We're still in initiative, aren't we?
It's a reaction.
Reaction, baby!
Oh, nice.
Do you have
Okay.
to be able to see them?
Nope. Up to 5 creatures within range.
Nice.
I don't know the
Nice.
outcome of this, but Letters doesn't like to play chances.
All right.
My
You know what's a
dexterity
real bummer
saving
about
throw.
disadvantage?
Go ahead.
It's fucking nat 20s don't count. But that was a 19 and a 20, so 29 for the first one,
Just don't.
21 for the second one, and 18 for the third.
Yes, those hits.
Sweet.
And what was your dex save, Neppy? 2. So you sail like you kind of try to grab on, and you sail right by, and you start to fall off the edge, but slowly
60 feet per round.
per round. But you are falling off the island.
Okay. Oh my
19 points of force damage.
Nice.
Okay.
You hear a large, almost like an eagle-like call, but much, much deeper and bigger.
Oh boy.
Also, you would have seen Kale as he tumbled, turn back into Kale.
Oh, did you lose concentration?
No, it only has 19 health, and I took 30 damage.
We die from wind.
Other,
Hey, it protected me for 19 damage.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, for a 4th level spell slot. Yeah.
the other
Good
one
trade,
is
dude.
going to.
Oh boy.
Other one is going to.
The
It'll
other
go
one.
for you, Callie, because you're near the edge. So as you're kind of down, prone on the ground, you hear this thing kind of land behind you, and through the fog, you can see what looks like a massive bird, but you can see its feathers have an almost like cloud-like quality, and only its beak really has form, and its talons you can see are almost rock-like. But the rest of it has this kind of like wispy, almost like cloud-like appearance as it like caws loudly, and then it's going to try to it's going to attack you with its beak first, and then its claw.
Boy.
So that is a 31 to hit for the beak.
Yeah.
That's 27 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the talons. Oh, that is a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's my armor class.
Okay. And that's 1. $14 and 9 is 23 points of slashing damage, and you are grappled as you feel these massive stone-like claws wrap around you and grab you.
Okay.
But you do have freedom of movement on you still,
do.
so you can get out of that grapple whenever. All right, that is their turn. These are a little homebrew
Ooh. Ooh.
called the Stratus rock. All right, Neppy, it's your turn as you
Sick.
slowly fall.
Yeah, cool.
You can try to grab onto the side of the island because you are moving slowly.
Yeah.
It is sort of jagged rock. You can try to grab onto it if you want. That would be your action.
Yeah, I will absolutely try and grab onto literally anything, because the only thing that I could do otherwise is if I go off this island, I have to call. Divine intervention is the only thing that will. All right, that's it. That's all.
I'm calling mom. Pick
I'm
me
calling
up.
my mom. Take me home, mom. Yeah,
Alright.
because I don't have anything that can help me. I can't Misty Step. I can't. That's not my job. I don't do that. Okay. What is it? A dex save?
This would be a strength save to try to grab on.
Okay, 17.
Yes, you managed to grab on to the island, and you can use your movement to climb back
Yeah.
up. It's
Oh,
half-
absolutely.
Is
I
it
will
a
use
half?
my movement to
Okay.
climb back up onto the island, and
yeah,
I
You
will,
get back to the edge.
and I will run
That it will take.
my whole.
Yeah,
movement.
you'll only have probably about 10 feet of movement left.
Yeah, great. Anything to get me off of the edge of this island.
Okay.
So
You come
make
next
sure-
to the. You're basically next to the pillar. You're like just inside the pillar.
Cool. I am going to. No, because it would probably take my action to do that. I'm going to take my rope out of my bag.
Mhm.
And that if I have the opportunity to, I'm going to motherfucking tie myself to this pole next turn.
It'll be that'll be an action
Next
to
turn,
tie, but
right?
you
I
can
know I
take it
can't
out
do it. My
absolutely.
rope
and
is out,
You can
and
have it
I
close
am-
by.
And I would yell, for, because who was the person closest to me that I saw before I was yeeted off the edge of this rock?
It would have been whoever you were standing next, probably Letters.
Letters. I would just go, Letters, where are you? Because I probably can't see him at that point.
Here.
Yeah.
Polo.
All right, okay.
You want help?
Oh no, that's all right.
Or just. What's up?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay, sick.
So on initiative count 10, I rolled something, and the island itself, the wind, you can feel the wind start to push this island, and the whole island inverts. Those of you who are flying, you remain flying. Those of you who are not begin to fall.
God damn it, I just got back up.
Featherfall still applies.
Motherfucker.
Does it apply even though she's touched the ground? I think it ends when
It
you
ends
land
when
on
you
the
touch the ground.
Yeah.
So you are now falling. Now you have the whole thing is probably about 60 feet high. So you have some time, but you are now falling. Callie, you were in the grip of this thing.
Its duration is a minute. If it lands before the spell ends, yeah, it's landed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. But Kale and Finnan, you are now falling towards what is now the top of the tower, which is now the bottom of the tower.
Oh my god.
All right.
Cool.
Callie,
So-
you.
When it rotated, did the creatures stay on the other side, or did they rotate with us?
One is in the center, so it is still flying.
So we're falling towards it, is what I'm
You're
saying?
falling
or we...
towards it.
Okay, so the island's not separating it. Like we didn't separate from
It's
them.
like almost like imagine like an hourglass. The whole
yeah,
thing
and
is
everything
turned over.
inverted. So I'm falling
Like-
at the bad guy now.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, Callie. You are
Uh.
currently okay because the whole thing is flipped, but so you're now near the top of it with this creature. But you
Yeah.
can get out of the grapple at any time.
Yeah, can I get out of the grapple using 5 feet of movement?
Yep, absolutely.
And then just fly beside it?
Yep.
And then I'm gonna hit it
Okay.
with my
Absolutely.
sword.
All right.
Oh, tits. Okay. That's gonna be 22
22 hits. Yep.
and a 16.
16 does not hit.
Yeah. We've long rested.
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's not an undead, a fiend, or an aberration.
None of those things.
That's fine. I didn't want it to be any of those things. It's okay.
You know, shit's getting bad when I'm looking through the bag of holding to see if there's anything that can help me.
Poor little Clack.
Oh, what's Clack?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
happened to Clack right now?
Clack, that's a great
Just a little
question.
pebble falling to the ground.
Yeah, he's falling.
Don't
No?
get Clack involved in the mix. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
I was
at remarkable
hoping no
speed.
one
Is he
said
so dead?
anything about Clag.
It's everything. No, air resistance. He would. Yeah. Were it a vacuum, we'd all fall at the same rate. But Clack, he's smallest
Fall
and
fast.
densest of all.
So
of
he
us.
is a bit of a projectile as well.
Oh no.
He may
40
hit this thing with some
45 points of damage.
nice. Nice. So yeah, you like as you tear into its like ethereal form, it's just like you hear it kind of screech and reel as it lets you go and you kind of slip out. We are back to the top of the order. Letters.
Oh, okay. So here I am at what is effectively the ceiling now.
Mhm.
Everyone has fallen. Per the rule book, they would have fallen 300 feet if they're just fallen natural like, correct?
Well, no, it's 60 feet. It's only because then you're gonna land on the roof,
Oh,
right? Like there's a roof.
oh, there's a roof.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, no.
right.
It's not just open sky.
Oh, then
Except for
Clack's
where
fine.
Neppy's at, right?
Uh,
Because she was outside.
yeah, that would have been like no, because she got inside. She used her movement. She got just
I
inside the temple.
see.
Yeah, the
Sorry,
palace.
I thought she was
Yeah.
on the other end of
No.
the platform where we started. Okay, cool. Well,
No,
that changes
you're good.
everything for me.
Okay, that's great. Roof is 60 feet up. We love that. Okay. I'm gonna try to get up there. And I'm gonna fly to where I last remember that pearl being. Can I see that pearl?
It was in. You watched it disappear from the creature, like from Akadi's mouth.
Oh, and it become all the fog.
Yeah.
And the thing is, return the pearl.
So you have to, yeah.
Find the pearl.
To where the wisdom is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm not a searcher. Well, fuck-a-doodle-doo. Letters can't think of anything clever, so he's just gonna try to... if he summons that, then everyone will fall and die. Yeah, he'll just do a steel wind strike. He's gonna hit these two big birds. The first one, that's a 28, and the second one is an 11.
11 does not hit, but the 28 does hit.
Oh, we love that. We love that. And that's going to be how much damage all in for this big bird? 32 points of big bird damage.
Nice. And that's the one in the center, or
whichever one Callie hit would have been the first one to hit.
Okay, so you went over to Callie, where Callie was, and you hit that one.
Yeah.
All right. And how much again? Sorry, 20.
32 all in.
32.
Force damage.
Perfect.
Force damage.
All right. So yeah, you slam into that one as well.
And I'll just hang out beside it as I go.
Okay. As you're both flying with it, now at the roof of this thing, which is the floor that you came in on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It is now Finnan's turn. You have plummeted to where the ceiling is.
Yep.
And you take 66 of bludgeoning damage. 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
I blade land, and I look up, and my eyes leak black as I go into a rage.
We love a rage.
And yeah, I'm gonna rage. Yeah, and then I'm gonna lift up off the ground as well as I do that as well.
Clack has landed next to you because he would have landed on Letter's turn.
Yeah.
He also took 17 points of bludgeoning damage, and chipped off a bunch of stone that fell back down.
You good, Clack?
Oh yeah, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I lift off the ground. That's my action.
These are gargantuan birds, right?
Yeah. All right, it is the lair action.
Oh, fuck. What if we flip back?
All right, that is...
Kale will just keep falling back and forth between the two.
We're yo-yos.
You feel now as the wind has surged, you feel the air has gotten thinner where you are, as if you're at a much higher altitude. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Gosh. I pass out too? This is bad. Your cleric, fallen short. Okay, Constitution.
At 20.
Nice.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
19.
Okay, that's a success. Just
God.
Finnan?
I'm not. How close am I to Callie? Not close enough to get the benefit, right?
No.
So it's just a dirty 20.
Okay, yeah, you succeed. So, Neppy, you take 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay, great.
As you feel like your head is light, as you are mid-fall through this, you're just so disoriented. And this on top of it, you're...
Neppy's getting rocked.
Oh, some people haven't hit the ground yet?
Well, they'll hit the ground on their turn, basically.
Oh, I see. Then I would love to just cast Featherfall on everybody.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I didn't understand that that's how that works.
It's all good.
Can I undo the damage dealt to
Yeah. Yep.
Adam and Clack?
Yep.
Thank
Adam
you.
and Clack.
Adam and
Not
Clack.
Finnan.
Finnan and
If
Clack.
Finnan gets hurt, I'm fine. But if my boy Adam feels the burn.
Disadvantage on ability checks. Okay. All right.
All right. It is now... All right. Now we are at Kale's turn.
Who's on deck, Tim?
The other creatures, and then you, Neppy.
Sick.
So Kale would, I guess, feather fall. It's
Yep.
been cast on him, so he would land gently. In the sky right now,
Mhm.
you have the two creatures,
Yep.
and Callie's engaged with them.
Yeah, you can't see that though with the fog.
I can't see the creatures.
No. You're too far away from them. You saw it as you passed by it, as you fell.
So I know where it is.
Yeah.
So
You would know where the one at the
I need to look at the language of this spell. Okay, it says within a point I choose within range. It doesn't say see.
Absolutely.
The range is 150 feet. So they're within range.
Yeah, you passed it roughly around the middle of the palace.
When I passed, the layout was so one creature, Callie, and then the other creature was where in relation to that?
Callie was at the edge near the bottom.
Yeah.
Kind of where you guys came in the entrance, that's where Callie was. The creature had just come in through those gaps.
Yeah.
The other creature flew into the middle and is like in the middle of this tower thing.
Are they within 60 feet of one another?
Yes, because the whole thing is only 60 feet high.
All right. So could I center this spell so that it hits the two of them but doesn't hit the rest of us?
It would likely hit. You might hit. Yeah, you'd probably hit Letters and Callie. Because they're engaged.
Do it,
with
coward.
I don't know where they are. Because
You'll be able
so
to
I'm just gonna cast it into the ether.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Do it.
Let's see here. You see, as Kale takes his two swords, you see there's a in the pommel of the one is a rock that has a sort of a glow to it, and he knocks the two ends of the sword together and he pushes it out, and a sort of beam goes out, and as the beam comes out, it ignites, and you see a huge flash of sunlight, 60-foot radius. I'm gonna cast an 8th level sunburst.
Ooh. Dropping them
Everybody-
8th level spells, babies.
Yeah, I need everybody to make a con saving throw. And I'm also going to burn 3 sorcery points to make one of the creatures of your choice roll it at disadvantage.
Okay. So we'll say the one in the middle will roll at disadvantage.
Is everyone making a save?
That's
Just
definitely a
Letters and Callie.
21.
That's a pass.
failure. The first one failed. The second one. That is I'm sorry, it's a con save, you said?
Con save, 17.
We got a 9.
That's a 23 for the other one. So that's a
So he
success.
passed.
Yeah.
So Callie and one of the creatures take full damage. Letters and the other one take half. And I'm going to just roll it on here because it's a lot of
I will
dice.
also say, like, high beams in the fog, you are all, like, nearly blinded.
Yeah,
especially
so-
down there.
On a successful
Or-
failure, it takes half as much damage
Like
and
the
isn't blinded.
noonday sun through fog.
Yeah.
The fog clears.
Ah.
Not quite.
But
Huh?
everyone who didn't pass is blinded, so Callie is blinded.
Okay. And the one in the center is blind.
And I will roll. You'll be able to see it in D&D Beyond. It is 12d6.
Nice.
Oh, it is not good. That was a bad roll.
Wow, that was genuinely terrible, yeah.
How much
Well, it was
it?
actually right. It was half. Exactly 50-50. 36 points of damage to Callie and
The one that failed.
the one that failed, and 18 points to the other ones.
Nice.
How much damage is that?
And it
The
is.
music just does not want to loop. It's killing me.
Speaking of music, big shout out to our amazing music Sirenscape, because Epic Games should have epic sound. Thank you. Okay,
Hell yeah.
continue.
What is it? Where does it say what kind of damage it is?
Probably radiant damage, I would imagine.
I would assume
Or
radiant.
fire damage. Both of which are fully acceptable.
Is it
Totally fine.
sunburst?
Yeah. Why does it not
So
say?
if it's radiant, then Callie can shrug that off. That's why I'm asking.
It is.
It's not for
Can't
me.
she? I don't know that she can.
Oh, well, if it's fire damage,
12d6
then I can
radiant
shrug it
damage, blinded for a minute.
Oh yeah, radiant. but
What's half of what that is though?
18.
18.
18. And then
You have resistance to radiant
resistance. Yeah,
damage? Oh, nice.
Ask
resistance is
So 9.
no, because I failed.
If you failed. Or they failed.
Oh, so it's 18 for you because it was 36. So 18 for you.
Okay.
But you are blinded for a minute.
Now, would this fog count as like a type of darkness? Because this spell does dispel any
dispel any.
darkness in this area.
No, it is like it's like a
Opaque
whiteout.
white.
Yeah, it's like with the brilliance of the sky, it is bright.
Yeah.
And as it cast that, I would see the sort of shadows through the fog of the creatures, and I would realize that both Letters and Callie were up there, and I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Sick Ray, dude.
All right, it is the creature's turn. The creature in the center is going to go for you guys on the ground, on the ground, which is the ceiling. So it's going to fly over and attack at disadvantage. It'll go for you, Finnan. And all right, so the first one is its beak. That's a natural 1, so that one hits. And it'll try to grab you with its talons.
I thought you said that's a natural 1, so that one hits, and I was like, excuse me,
Natural
sir?
1, so that hits, obviously.
I'm the DM.
Because everything's upside down.
Yeah, right, you're right.
So
Right.
It's
It's a critical
backwards
hit.
day.
20s are actually 1.
Upside down and backwards day.
That was not good either. That was only a 16.
Doesn't it?
So yeah, as it like blindly kind of like and you watch it like slams its hands into the bottom of that nest, but it doesn't seem to find purchase. Clack kind of ducks out of the way.
The nature of this nest, Tim, does it look like a concave nest, like an upside down nest?
It looks like at the
if
top
we're
it
in-
would. Yeah, it is a bit
so
concave.
If we got onto the roof of this building, we would see a Scooby
Presumably.
nest. Great.
Presumably,
That's what it suggests.
you can only assume that. Yes, and you can see there are like gaps in this stone, kind of like branch work. There's gaps in it. It is, and does it get to make a save for the blindedness?
Does, yeah.
Yeah. Another con save, I assume. That is a 20, not natural.
That should pass. Constitution saving at the throw at the end of each of its turns.
Okay, so yeah, you watch as it it opens its eyes, and you just watch this like flood of air kind of rush out and the almost like a cloud just blowing out as it sees you. All right, it is Neppy's turn.
Cool. So I'm just falling.
Yeah, you would have landed by now.
Okay.
You were feather falling.
I was
so-
a feather fell.
Is the other
Featherfell.
creature not attacking?
Oh yeah, the other creature is going to attack.
Don't be
What am I
such a narc,
thinking?
Len.
No, great
Don't
call.
remind the
Actually,
teacher
Sorry.
that we have homework.
it's going to use its ability. It's going to use its whirlwind ability. So I need you and Letters to both make strength saving throws, please.
Hell yeah.
Which
I
you?
love hanging out with my paladin.
Oh, Callie and Letters.
Yeah.
$18.
That is not enough.
Whoa!
15.
That is not enough. So that's both failures. So you both take
Jeez.
30 points of bludgeoning damage as you are just battered by this wind. I
Baby
need you
boy.
both to roll a d4 for me, please.
Balls.
30 points. That's a.
Can I
3.
see anybody from where I am, Tim?
You can see Finnan and Clack and Kale.
Okay.
What's that? 2.
We do maintain concentration, though. It was a 3.
Okay. So you, Letters, you get blown out towards where you came in, because that was the direction that Callie was. You get further, so you're now on the outside of the temple. But it is kind of like it's the roof for you. And then Callie, you get blown back kind of to the left. So you're over by another pillar, kind of up the thing, but you're both knocked prone. And neither of you strike the pillars on the way
Can
out.
we be knocked prone if we're flying?
That's a good question. I guess not. I mean, yeah, you're kind of pushed up against the ceiling. But yeah, it
okay.
wouldn't take half movement.
It's for effect.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
slam into the walls like a Dragon Ball
yeah,
Z character.
exactly.
Love that.
All right. It is now initiative count 10, so I'm going to roll a d100.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, yes, sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
After
Do I
you,
take?
you can
I
tell.
don't take damage from falling.
No.
Cool. Since I can't see Callie, so I can't heal either of them up there. But I am going to use my turn to cast Locate Object on that pearl.
Okay.
Big brain.
May not be able to do some things, but I can do a couple things really well.
You can sense it. Where you are, it is beneath your feet. It seems like it's in the center of that nest.
Cool. Got it.
Yeah.
And I yell out,
Yes, love that.
the pearl is in the nest. The pearl is in the nest. I would
We
just
gotta
yell
get
it
it
as
from
loud
the
as I can.
nest into the mouth.
I can't yell that very loud because there is sleeping children around. But yes, the pearl is in the nest.
Okay. Is that your?
It's an action to cast.
Yep.
And then I am going to. Clack is near me.
Mhm.
Can I just put a rope in his hand? Just be like, don't you fucking let go.
Okay. You can watch as he kind of ties it around the
And
rod
I just,
or the wand or the staff, I should say.
I lash myself to him to make sure that he doesn't get yeeted off.
Well, you're not
this
able to
thing.
lash because you used your action, but
Right.
he's
I just
kind
hold
of-
on to it.
Yeah.
I hold on to it
You
real
got it
tight.
in your hand.
I do.
All right, I'm gonna roll a d100. Okay, that is you feel the whole thing shake,
no.
and the whole thing flips again as you all begin to plummet. And Clack is like, no. As you're holding the rope together, Finn and you fall into
don't
the. Oh yeah,
He's
you're
flying.
flying.
I'm fine.
So, yeah,
I
yeah,
also
yeah.
just stay inverted, so I'm just
Yeah,
upside
and
down.
the creature is just standing there. And Kale, you begin to fall as well. All right, Callie, you're up. As you feel your stomach kind of churn, as you realize that the whole thing is flipped once again.
Okay. I'm still blinded.
Yes. Yeah, at the end of your turn, you can make another con save.
Okay. Can I hit it?
Yes, absolutely. So it's a disadvantage, these ones.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a 24 to hit
That hits.
and a 16 again.
That does not hit. So the first one hits.
Okay.
Just feel like a ping pong ball. Just going boing, 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 boing.
Okay, that's gonna be. Sorry. Oh, I didn't roll the d10 last time. That's fine.
I just have literal nothing when I can't fly. It's so frustrating. This music is
Why
great.
weren't a touch spell? I would have got you.
I know.
I should have just cast it on
Another
the three
45
from the
points
start.
of damage. 45 points of damage.
Nice. Another 45. All right. Yeah, I switched up the music because the other one kept doing me dirty. This one's much better. All right. So yeah, you like slice into it. This thing seems pretty hardy. This
Can I make a-
gargantuan bird.
Can I make a con save?
Yes, you can.
17 is the number to beat.
Yeah, well, I got 17 plus 6.
Nice. So you feel your like
Nice.
that kind of white light glow in your eyes kind of just burns out as you're able to see again as you see this creature in front of you. All right. It is back to the top of the order. Letters, you're up.
Letters is doing some math about how well he thinks he can get away.
Who's undecked him?
Finnan is on deck.
Nice.
Y'all are just gonna fall kind of hard this time.
Finnan would yell down, I got it. I got it.
You're getting it?
Yeah. Trust.
Letters does some math and is pretty sure he's faster than Finnan, and so reluctantly.
I got
scraps.
60 feet of movement as well.
He is again.
Alright, fucking Finnan's got it. Fine. Featherfall to protect my friends. I cast Featherfall. Finnan's got it.
Trust your warlock.
The worst.
Wizards have to trust warlocks.
Fuck that, dude. Alright, and I've got a bird on me that Callie's just been whacking away at. Fucking, there's another bird elsewhere.
Has the other bird taken any damage at all?
A little bit. A little bit.
And this big ass bird is looking fresh as hell.
Yeah. I mean, the one by you is like, it's taking some hits for sure. It's not
taking
fresh.
some
but-
hits. It's taking some hits. Yeah, Letters didn't have a backup plan, so he just trusts Finn and tries to hurt this big bird.
I'm Big Bird.
Yeah, fuck you, big
And
bird.
I'm Big Bird.
Yeah, he wants to save that 5th level spell slot for later, so he's just gonna do a big old booming blade.
You got it.
Big old booming blade for the boy.
Big booming
Big
blade.
booming blade.
Big blade.
Boy, we got a big booming blade. That's like
So you got them big molars.
that's like a 28.
28 hits, yeah, absolutely.
Gotta grab a couple of 3d8s. Oh yeah. Not fucking great. Yuck. It's 8 plus 7. That's 15 points of bludgeoning and thunder damage, if that makes any difference.
What's the thunder damage?
I didn't decide. I you know what? I'll be generous. 7 points is thunder damage.
Yeah, it does not seem to have any effect.
Boner. Yeah, then that's just a cool 8 points of bludgeoning damage, and if it
So good.
moves, nothing bad will happen to it. Love that. Cool. Over to you, team.
And then,
This is gonna be real awkward because Letters will see Finn and not do anything.
no, you won't. You can't see with the fog. You're
Oh,
not gonna be able to see that far.
Anyone who can see Finnan sees Finnan flying in like kind of a figure 8 around
You're the only one up there.
around the bird.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
bird.
you're the only. Everyone else fell.
Very importantly, all the bird sees is Finnan staying within melee range, flying around, and I'm going to fly up, away from the bird and up, while the misleading image of me flies around it in melee combat, and I'm just gonna leave and fly up.
Okay. Can it can make an intelligence?
I am
check to see if it
invisible,
recognize-
so I become invisible at the same time as an illusionary double appears where I am standing. The double lasts the duration, and I'm invisible until I cast a spell or attack. So, like, there is nothing to indicate that I'm not within that space.
Okay. Yeah, I'll accept that. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I fly up to the, because
Okay.
I'm at the right point of the.
Yeah.
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 so
So you're at the nest. So you
Yeah.
come around to the middle. You see, as you come to the middle, the fog is not on top, so you see
Cool.
quite clearly inside of what appears to be almost like a glass cage. You can see 6 tubes around in a similar configuration to the palace. Inside is the pearl, but you can see there are each of these tubes has a hole in it. And now that you're on top and you are standing next to it, you can hear, it almost sounds like a wind chime, like whistles, as the wind is blowing through these things. But it is inside of this thing, the pearl.
Does that look smashable?
You
No,
can try.
listen, that's my action to cast Mislead anyway. So I'm up there now. I'm invisible. As a bonus action, I'm going to... my eyes don't change at all because no one sees me. I'm invisible, but I'm going to be able to see through solid material, and I assume that extends to fog up to 30 feet. I can just like see through anything. I'm using Ghostly Gaze.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's, yeah. And I'm by the pearl, invisible, and I'll figure it out next turn, I guess.
All right. It is the lair action.
So we're technically right side up at this point. And we do have Featherfall cast on us?
Yes,
again?
you do.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
blessed be.
Yep.
What a blessed
That is a okay. So as you are falling through, you, Finnan, you see it coming. The
Adam
others
dreaming back in.
do not. So Finnan, you'll have this will just be a straight roll, but we'll say Nepentha and the letters. I'll need you to make dexterity saving throws at disadvantage, please.
And I'm just making a regular dexterity
Yep.
saving throw?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Dex saving throw at hey, 2 11s, not bad.
It's an 18. That's not bad either. 21.
23.
How's
Okay.
a natural 1 sound, Tim?
Oh, dude.
No
so you
fucking luck
two,
today.
Finnan, you see a massive rock hurtling through the air. It seems almost like a meteorite coming through.
Boulder rock,
The
not
boulder. It gets that like flies through. You manage to dodge out of the way. Letters, you hear it. It strikes the floor and it kind of bounces. And you get just enough heads up to kind of duck out of the way as it rolls through and out the other side. Nepentha, you were not so lucky. It comes through and all you hear is this kind of like as it just slams into you.
Cool.
And you take
Thank you so much, chat, for your
To
for your
14
commiseration.
just to clarify,
14 points of bludgeoning damage.
14?
just to clarify my position, because I'm outside and above the roof, right? And so
Yeah.
the rock went past me and through the roof?
It it came like horizontally, as if it was
Oh.
blown by the wind.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And there was multiple
I thought
rocks.
Sky Giants were
came
throwing shit
through.
at
Like,
No,
my
they,
rock
like-
didn't hit M.
No.
Okay,
different
I was
rock.
like,
It was
this rock is bouncy.
It was like a
Right.
cluster of
I
rocks
see, I see.
blew
Cool,
through.
cool.
All right, it is now Kale's turn.
I'm falling with Featherfall.
You sure
Yeah.
are, bud.
You
So-
landed on the ground.
Oh, I've landed. Okay.
Yep.
Could I do it as I go by them?
Sure.
So I am going to.
Because the one at the top you would have missed because that was the one you're finning. But you could do it by the one at the bottom.
Okay, so I can only see one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to. I'm going to cast a. Right. So, sword's still in hand. Once again,
What you're breaking
I
up.
clang them together. It sends vibrations out, and I will cast Banishment at 4th level. And I will use 3 more sorcery points to roll at disadvantage.
Okay. It's the one at the bottom. That is, and this is a charisma save.
Charisma 17.
No way these big birds know who they are.
No, that is only a 7. And
Ooh.
obviously this is their home plane, so it gets banished to a demi-plane. So that one disappears.
Is that the one by me?
Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How is Callie looking?
You can't see her. Or actually, no, you can see her. I don't know. How's Callie looking?
Horrible.
Horrible. Bu- 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 Oh, it's an action to do it. Yeah, that's my turn. I can't do much else. I'm gonna see if there's something that I can hold on to. So if it flips,
Yep.
I could try and grab.
You could
Like I
hold-
can.
You could get close to the statue and try to grab onto the statue, or you could go over
Yeah.
to the pillar and hold the pillar.
I'll just go wrap my arms around the pillar.
You can't quite get all the way around, but you get it in a pretty good, solid bear hug.
Yeah.
I like the image of Clack and Neppy being like,
Yeah, absolutely. We're like, what are those things called that have like one thing on either end and you use them to wrap
Like a
around
bolo?
something?
Bolos.
Yeah, we're a bolo. We're a bolo.
Yeah. All right, it is the rock's turn. It is going to take its
Right?
first attack. Oh, sorry.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That's what these
are
are.
these the bird rocks or the rock stones? So
Yeah, yeah. The bird is going to take one attack. It's going to take a beak attack at Finnan's illusion. And that is a 25 to
That
hit.
would hit Finnan if
So
that
it
was
just-
really Finnan.
It like
Straight
busts through, and then it realizes that that's an illusion.
misled.
And it is going to it's going to fly back down because it didn't see where you went. So it's going to assume you're down at the bottom with the rest of them. So it's going to get down to the bottom, and it's going to go for Kale because you hit it already once with its talons. That is a 29 to hit.
I'll allow it.
Okay. All right. And so you take...
Man.
23 points of slashing damage, and you are grappled. And
Even
as
though I'm holding onto this pillar?
yeah, like it literally came behind you and has like grabbed you from behind.
You gotta work on your koala muscles. Nothing breaks that crap.
Strong thighs on the pole.
And then it is that's its turn. And now it is Nefi's turn.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I have to roll a saving throw.
Yes.
Concentration.
Just
And,
10 because you're a warcaster now.
It's 10, right?
Yeah. Just about
Higher than it.
yeah, higher than the 10.
That's an
And you would have
advantage.
Callie's bonus.
Oh yeah. The 26.
26. Yeah, you maintain no problem.
The internet doesn't love us today, that's for
Oh,
sure.
I know.
Internet
right?
is
Did I get stuck?
A little
No,
bit,
you're
a
good.
little bit.
a little bit.
We heard
Just-
26, which is the important part.
Yes. Adonis
Alright.
got into the internet again.
It is
Fucking
Nefi,
Corey.
and then
Thomas would fucking love the internet. It's so fucking freaky.
So freaky.
you
So
can find
freaky.
anything on there. All right, Nefi's turn.
Okay, would you allow me to have cast a spell
Adonis.
on Callie as I like
He's on the other side from where you were.
Would
So
I
you
have
have to
been
go
30 feet?
over.
would I have been 30 feet from her and seen her?
You would have to move closer to see her. You can't see her right now.
Okay.
But we are all on the same floor.
Yeah, you're on the same. You're on the floor.
We're on the
You're
same floor now?
together,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I go over to where I can see Callie. I get within 30 feet of her.
Yeah.
And I am going to
You'd have to get within 15 feet to see her.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Oh no, I actually don't need to see her. I just need to know she's within range.
Cool. That's great.
So it's 30 feet range. I am going to use life transference on Callie. So we're going to cast a... Yeah, big brain cleric time. We're going to do a 5th level life transference on Callie.
So you're basically near the center. Then you'll remain near the center statue as you cast this.
Okay, let's do some dice rollers because I only brought one set of dice with me, which feels bad. 5, 6, D8. Okay, not bad. That is going to be plus. So I am going to take 30 points of damage. Callie gets 60 back.
Right.
And I'm choosing to take the necrotic damage.
Yep.
Yeah, because with the confines of the spell.
All right. So you, it is now initiative count 10, and then it'll be Callie's turn. Whew. The whole thing stays the way it's supposed to be. It remains in place.
Wow.
All right, it is Callie's turn.
And the bird isn't in front of me anymore.
There is another bird. The other bird has come down and attacked Kale, who is right near you. So there is a bird nearby.
But the other bird that I was
Is not
attacking
there.
is not there.
He's not there.
Can I fly down to the other bird then?
You're already on the ground where the other bird is, so you could just fly over to it.
Okay, I'll just fly over to it then and attack it. Hits! Both don't hit. I rolled a 2 and a 5. So
Dang,
even
so
with
yeah.
my plus 12.
With the fog, it's difficult to tell where this bird ends and the fog begins, and you just miss both times as it kind of lifts
my
up like its
God.
other claw on its wing.
This is the most Callie has missed in a very long time.
All right, it is now back to the top of the order. Letters.
I got a
You're
pretty
up.
good idea of this bird. It's, I like it's near me. I'm
Mhm.
not on it, but I'm aware of it. Correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I would like to fly to the edge of this thing, but no more than 60 feet from any of my friends. In case it flips, I can still cast Featherfall on them. My intention, Tim, is to be in a position that if it flips again, I can be like close enough to cast Featherfall, but also close enough that I can just movement action and then action to explore whatever is on top of the nest.
So you could go sort of in the center, right? Like that's.
Yeah, but like kind of like to the edge of the island is kind of where I want to be.
Sure,
you know what I mean? So I can just zip over because I assume it's like 40 something feet.
It's 60 feet across, like the whole. It's like a circle.
So I just go to whichever edge of the circle is like my most friends are nearby.
Cool. Yeah.
Does Letters see Illusory Finnan, who hasn't moved from his original position?
No,
Letters doesn't see
he's
shit.
up at the top.
Letters has a passive perception of 9, and he's in fog. He just Finnan said trust, and he said okay, and he's just gonna throw a fireball at that big bird.
Yeah. Kind of toss it above it.
8d dexterity saving throw, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big bird, big bird.
Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Well, then it's gonna take 12 points of damage. 12 points of fire damage.
As you watch as the fire rains down on the creature, you briefly get a view of this entire bird and its gargantuan size, and the wingspan that this thing has is immense. As the fog kind of like brightens for a second and then it kind of dissipates. All right, it is now Finnan's turn.
Right, so I got a little box that I can now see through. Where do these tubes lead? 30 feet. Where do they lead?
It's already transparent. It's like the tubes just like kind of rest into the bottom of this, like they connect into the bottom of this nest. And you can see they are stone, but they look to be carved, and they each have a hole along the bottom of varying sizes. And you can hear as the wind is kind of blowing through, it's whistling at different kind of tones. And the pearl is inside of
I
that.
feel like you're explaining to me like basic arithmetic, and I'm like, like what you're saying to me makes sense, but I'm like, there's a puzzle here, right? This is a puzzle, right, Tim?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just stupid right now.
Is it one of those rolly ones?
Make an intelligence check for me.
I can do that. It's a 15, and then the heart takes effect, and a -1 to that, so 14.
14. Even with a 14, the way that this thing is shaped, you can see that the nest also kind of slants a bit. The pillars look remarkably like they're in the same configuration as this sort of wind chimed cage.
Right.
And the pearl is inside of that.
It tells you where the pearl is.
But we see the pearl.
No, it's a map.
The wind chime tubes look remarkably like the pillars.
Fuck it.
Where's
I'm
the
gonna cast
pearl and the
true
wind chime?
seeing on myself, so I see everything with true sight. Is this the real pearl?
Yeah, it's the real pearl.
Fuck me. God damn it. I'm just gonna cover up the holes.
Okay, you see they kind of stop whistling.
And then from the illusionary Finnan, I might not have it. I'm really dumb right now. I don't know what's going on.
Do you describe what you see to the rest of them?
Yeah, I'll describe.
He shouts down through the wind.
So
I'm sorry, friends of real life, that I'm being so thick right now.
No, it's okay. It's going right over my head too.
okay, so
Do we hear whistling from the columns themselves?
Make a perception check.
Oh, Sean Defner.
big brain.
Puzzle solving Defner.
Sean
Sounds
knows
like-
what's going on. Letter's got a 2.
Difficult to hear. With the wind, it's very difficult to tell.
Maybe we're in a big flute.
Here's my thing.
Would
Finnan
we
has a
all
passive
have to get
perception
to-
of 25. Do I
I'll
hear
say
any-
this. I'll say this. You didn't notice any holes on the pillars when you came in. There were
Right.
no holes that you saw.
Gotta make holes in the pillars.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, try popping a hole in a pillar. Worth a try.
Okay. It's the lair action.
Yeah.
we gotta release.
Sorry. I just cast my 7th level
right.
spell.
Oh, okay. That's a 1, so that's a wind surge. So I need everyone to make a strength saving throw for me, please, including you, Finn.
Yeah, it's fine. I can see that wind really well, though.
I don't.
You have your
get-
goggles, actually. It's not as bad.
I get Callie's bonus because
Yes.
Yeah.
My dice doing me dirty today.
What was yours, Neppy?
3.
Okay, that's a
Oof.
failure.
Oh my god.
19.
23.
23 is a success. 19, you said, Finnan? That's just a success.
You should make
Callie?
a. Should make
18 hits. 18 is a failure, isn't it?
Failure. And letters.
Oh, 25. Or
25. Okay, so
You
yeah,
should also
you're
make
fine.
a save for Clack because I'm assuming
Oh,
what
yeah.
happens to Clack is also probably
He's
influential
also
on what
holding.
happens.
He succeeded. He rolled a natural 19.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
My
Clyde.
boy.
So he's going to make another strength saving throw to see if he can stop from falling down. As he actually an athletics check.
As
See
I
if he
get
can hold onto this
yeeted.
rope as you get yeeted. This is going to be a disadvantage. Well, he's pretty dense. That is a failure. So he
Fuck.
tumbles with you, but
damn it.
you manage to stay upright
Oh,
with his help.
Thank
and but you do blow 15 feet away, so you're closer to the edge to where the pillars are, but you're not. You're about halfway between where you're at and the pillars, because you were in the middle. So you're now
Okay.
15 feet closer to the edges. And Callie, you get blown. Yeah, you failed as well. So you get blown as well towards the middle of the palace. All right. So you're now near the statue in the center. All right. It is Kale's turn. You are grappled.
I am grappled.
You're right up against one of the pillars.
What can I do here? I'm just gonna use my bonus action to Misty Step. I'm gonna pop right behind him,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to use my action to hit him with my sword.
Nice.
Violence. Pretty cool, dude.
Pretty fucking good, dude.
good.
That is a 24 hit.
Yes, that hits.
I also think it's cool to just slap a big bird with a big piece of metal.
And to be clear, I want to hit it with the flat of the blade, so it hurts. Like it still does the damage, but it's insulting. 10 points of damage.
Insult a big wind bird.
You don't have like a green flame blade or something that you can spice that up with?
We use his bonus action.
I used my bonus action to cast Misty Step.
Dude, cantrip, baby. That ain't a spell.
Oh, green. Yeah, it's not, but
But then he wouldn't be able to. Well, I guess he could.
No, Green Flame Blade is as a part of an attack.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
it's
spell.
it's booming
Yeah.
blade and green flame blade are
You
the
can
two
do-
fun.
Right,
You can do
right.
both. Yeah.
It's how you stay competitive as a melee
next time I
caster.
level up, I'll change my.
Cantrip.
I can only change it when I level up.
Ugh.
So like a year from now, when Tim
Oh,
lets us
I
level up
see.
again.
All right, it is the rock's turn. Let's see if it regains its. Nope.
Oh my god,
okay,
Mish,
so it's
you
gonna
let.
go.
Look at him. Look at him eating his
Um,
little snack.
That's so silly. It's going to beak. It's gonna beak you, Callie, and you are prone because you got.
What
your
does it
better
say?
surge.
Now it's beacon
It's like,
people. What does it say?
Fucking chump.
Yeah, bruh.
That is a 30 to hit with the beak.
Yeah, that's allowed. Sure.
Ah, cool. All right.
Six. 18,
Where'd you learn to skate, bud?
32 points of piercing damage as it like pecks into you under the ground. It's then going to use its talons. That is a 25 to hit.
What was that damage of the first one?
Was 32 points of piercing damage, and then this one is 14 and 9, 23 points of slashing damage as it grabs you, and it's gonna yeah, it's gonna, now that it's grappled you, it's gonna start to fly up with you. Yeah. So it flies up into the air about 10 feet. All right. It is Neppy's turn.
Okay. So Finnan shouted down a bunch of stuff about these. So please paint me this picture one more time. I am really trying to get my big brain engaged here. So we have the pearl is sitting in, which is about the size of a softball, is sitting in a glass wind chime-esque mechanism. There are holes that go in each of the little pillars.
Various sizes in the bottom of those tubes.
Bottom
the
of
wind
those
chime tubes.
The wind chime tubes. That looks very similar to the pillars that are down below. Okay. So I would yell to Finnan. Which one has the smallest hole?
Lefty.
Whatever one he would.
One of the small ones at the back. Yep.
Okay, I would follow his direction.
Which you're close to. Yep.
And I would try to use. I would try and.
You can have a perception check as you get up to it.
Yeah. Can I do that? Because I'm gonna be like, do I whip out my mace and try and
Perceptor.
bash a hole in this thing?
Yeah, stop bashing.
We haven't
Okay,
seen Neppy
okay.
bash in a minute.
We have not. I don't think you've ever seen Neppy use a mace ever. That is, but you can. That is going to be a 27 for my perception.
So you can see, as you kind of come up to it, you can see where there is almost a faint outline, and it looks like debris over the years has plugged up this hole in the pillar.
Amazing.
Now that you're right up next to it looking for it, you can see there is, a hole probably about this big in the pillar that is plugged up with debris.
I am going to yell to my compatriots, look for holes in the pillars, clear them out. It's a wind chime. And I'm going to spend my action to take either whatever you'll let me do, whether it's my elbow to it or like the butt of my mace to it, and clear out the hole.
Yeah, so you clear out the hole, and you hear as the wind like slams into it now, you hear this like high-pitched kind of resonance that just echoes through the whole palace as you've cleared one of the tubes.
How many tubes are there?
There's 6, so there are 5 left.
6, I thought
Great.
4.
Amazing.
All right.
Okay. And how much of my movement did it take for me to get to that one?
That would have been 15 feet of movement.
Okay, I'm going to use the next 15 feet to start making for the next. Oh, I can hear a chime in the background. Very nice, Tim. And then I'm going to head towards the pole next closest to me.
Okay. So yeah, you managed to get over to the next one.
Great.
All right. It is now the initiative 10.
God damn
Oh,
it.
you're so lucky. It stays the right orientation.
Ooh, I get to keep that first level spell slot.
All right, Callie, you're up. You are grappled by the
Grappled.
creature.
You do have freedom of movement and can break the
do.
grapple.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna break the grapple because I don't want to go any further with it. I'd be in melee with it, right?
Yep, you're in melee with it.
So if I left, it'd get attack of opportunity.
Yeah, if you ran over to a pillar, it would get. No, because of the size, you could get to one of the pillars, like one of the front pillars, and still be within its melee. Because it's gargantuan, like it's huge. It's a huge thing.
Okay,
Gargantuan type.
so I won't get hit.
Mhm.
If I okay. Good. I'll do that then.
Okay, so you get over to the biggest one.
Yeah.
And make a perception check or an investigation check for me, please.
Pretty sure it's gonna be perception. Yeah, it's gonna be perception. What the? Okay, that's 18. No, sorry. 9 plus 11 is 20. Dirty 20.
20. Yeah. So yeah, you manage to find quite a bit larger of a hole. As you kind of move around, you see it kind of on the front of this pillar, in the direction that the wind is blowing, you see you manage to kind of figure out where there is a large hole there. And you can use your action to try to clear it out.
I would love to do that.
I'll have you make an athletics check for this one because it's much, much bigger.
Yeah, athletics check. Yeah, no problem. Oh,
Big, strong
arm
sword
what
queen.
the fuck is happening? I rolled a 2. So that's a 12.
Okay, so you get started, but you clear some of it, but you haven't cleared all of it. It'll take you one more action to fully clear it.
Okay.
I have disadvantage on ability checks because I'm exhausted.
You didn't have to make an ability check to see it.
To see it.
Roll. It's fine. Like with your
Sorry.
passive perception. No, it's okay. It's all good. Let's go now
I won't
to
forget that.
the top of the order. Letters.
Letters is going to fly over to the biggest of these pillars and gonna follow Neppy's instruction.
Yep.
And
Make
try to,
either an investigation check or a perception check.
you know he goes for that investigation.
Wizard watch.
Wizard watch.
So you go to the one next to where Callie's is, the kind of two front
Sweet.
pillars. Those are the big ones.
Big. 14 investigation.
14. So yeah, it takes you a little bit, but you do manage to kind of locate it. It is quite large.
And I'm just gonna wind up the Jade Twilight. Yeah, it is Jade Twilight. I just didn't want to come for your brand, but look, I didn't name this thing. And I'm just gonna fucking reef on this
Okay.
hole.
Yeah. You're attacking it, so you can make an attack roll for me, please.
That's a natural 1. La 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 la.
So this one
no!
seems to be fairly impacted as you you kind of lose the mark. Like some of the debris kind of kicks up in your eye, and you strike the side of it, and you see kind of a crack form on the pillar. It hasn't broken, but you see a crack form. Some of the debris does come loose, but you have not cleared it yet.
Oof. I'm really glad for the fog. No one saw that. And I'm just going to use my bonus action to shout to Clack to say, Clack, we could use your help. Help Neppy with these things, and I would like him to give advantage or at least cancel disadvantage on Neppy's next attempt to fuck these things up.
Yeah, absolutely. He races over to where Nepenthe is, and he kind of you watch as he shows you right away. He knows Rocker very well, and he etches out where exactly it is with his finger.
Clack and I do a gravel boy handshake, like the secret gravel boy handshake.
Absolutely.
As we do so.
And no one can see because we're
Nobody
in the
can
fog.
see. Exactly.
All right, it is now Finnan's turn.
There's a bird still around, right? Oh, Timothy.
We lost your camera, Tim.
Oh boy.
We still have the lyrical tones of your voice.
It just says Tim Carlson, so that's all good.
I know
It's you.
it's me.
Hey! You're so handsome.
There's a bird that's still around, right?
There is a bird that's still around down at the bottom. Yeah.
I am up here. I'm gonna fly so that I can see the bird.
You can't with the fog.
I have true
you
sight.
cannot.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the distance?
120
of true
feet.
sight? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got true sight and you can see through stone.
Yeah.
And
See
magical darkness if
everything.
it dares show its face.
How far is the bird from me?
It's down at 60 feet down at the bottom.
That's the exact range I need. I'm gonna need it to make a Constitution saving throw as I become visible and etch black purple runes in front of me.
That's a natural 1.
Sick. It's gonna take this full amount of damage.
Birds in a bad way.
Is this the one in front of me or the other bird?
There is only one bird at the moment. The other bird has been
Right, the
banished.
other bird is
Banished.
Banished.
Tis
For how long?
banished.
For it's a 10
A
minutes?
minute.
A minute. Okay.
Oh, the first d8s of that were very good.
We like a good roll, making up for all my bad ones. You're
And
welcome.
my bad ones.
Night time.
We share the roll at the table.
Share the roll.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
the roll.
That is a 71 points of necrotic damage.
Oh my
As
god.
Finger of death just from my chest straight
Spicy.
down into it.
As it just screams out in pain, and its head kind of whips across over to you. It seems to be able to see you through the fog. And that is a one. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. It is now the lair action.
Oh my god, no flippies, no flippies, no flippies.
No, it doesn't flip on
Flippy
the lair
happens
action.
on 10.
Oh, 10, okay.
Ooh. Okay, it's another wind surge. So I need everyone to make strength saving throws for me, please.
Absolute balls.
Okay.
17.
17, that's a failure.
Yep.
20.
20, that's a success.
18?
18 is a failure.
Damn it. That was so close.
18.
18, that's a failure. 18,
18.
okay. So everybody except for letters. Callie, you get blown back into the palace. Kale, you get blown towards the back. You both get knocked prone. Finnan, you slam into, because you're at the top.
Yeah.
You slam into the nest. You take a bit of damage.
Sweet.
4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Nepenthe, I guess Clack is gonna make it too. Ooh, that's not good. You and Clack are at the edge by the pillar,
We are.
and you both get pushed over the
Okay.
edge.
Okay.
Featherfall.
So yeah, as you feel your feet kind of slip out from under you, and you see the like full blue sky underneath, you feel your weight kind of slow down. All right, it is Kale's turn.
I'm prone, so I guess I will use half my movement to get back up.
Yep.
And then I will try to see if I see any of these holes within
You have
distance.
to run over to the pillar.
I will run to the pillar, or as close
Okay.
to the pillar as I
You-
can get.
You run over to one of the one on the right hand side, and make a perception or investigation check for me, please.
I think both of those suck. Well, one's better. That is a 11.
11. You manage to find it, kind of a medium-sized hole, but it is like you're pretty sure you know where it is.
Can I tell what it's plugged up with?
It looks
Like,
like
can I-
sand. Like it almost looks like it's just like years of like fine
buildup.
dust and build up. So how would you like to clear it?
Can I take my sword and try and stick it into where I think the center is and sort of wiggle it around?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have you make an athletics check for me, please.
That will be a 23.
Yes. So you do manage to clear one of the medium-sized holes. So you now all have 2 cleared.
Also, thanks to Mad Bird Streams for the raid. Welcome to our big bird, Mad Birds that are attacking us.
Yeah, a lot of
man-
birds lately.
It's been very bird heavy.
Very bird
bird
heavy.
heavy.
Got birds on the brain. All right. It is the bird's turn. It is going to.
Caw, my guy. Caw.
It's going to go for you, Finnan. It's going to fly up.
Bring it on!
Attacks of opportunity?
They're prone.
Not. Oh, but he moved away.
Yeah.
Classic.
So Finnan is up at the top, so it's going to go for the beak first.
Do it, son.
That is a 29 to hit.
Obviously hits.
All right.
Big beaky boy.
Big beaky boy.
Oh.
All right. That is a 29 points of piercing damage for the beak.
I realized that I fucked up.
Oh.
And so, in order to cast a spell, I would have had to have stopped raging. So my rage is done. So I do not take half of that damage.
Okay, so you take full damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and now the talons. That is a 17 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so it doesn't manage to grab you with its talons, but it's kind of like holding on with one claw as it like pecked into you.
Cool.
And let's see if it regains that. Nope. All right, and then it is now Neppy's turn.
Okay, so I am flying off the edge with a very dense rock. Also,
You
Oh.
can try to.
Apologies, that was me.
no problem.
You can try to grab onto the side.
Yes, I am going to try to do that. Yeah, I'm going to try and do that.
Okay.
I'm going to take my action to do that. This dice goes to dice gel. Good night. No more for you. Okay. Strength check or saving throw?
Saving throw.
19.
Okay, so you manage to hang on as you feel the rope tighten as you're holding Clack as well.
Yep.
But you manage to kind of stabilize. To climb, it'll be much harder to climb up because you're holding Clack.
Okay.
But you can, if you'd like. You can try.
I can't do anything else. I'm gonna
Make an athletics check for me, please.
Just
I
drop
can't.
back.
would
Slow.
never. I would never, ever, ever drop anybody, much less a fellow gravel boy. No, I don't think I can pull myself up. That's a 7.
No, so you don't fall, but you are not able to kind of like, you don't have the strength to pull yourself up and Clack. And he goes, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry."
Don't you dare
Black
apologize.
would not be weighing you down that much because he hasn't touched the ground yet. And
He is
so
lighter. That's
he
true,
is
but
still feather falling.
he's still not.
I
It's
didn't
still not
roll well
enough
enough.
to pull them both. He's only a 7. So yeah, you're
I'm
not
gonna-
falling now.
I'm gonna yell for. I'd yell for Callie.
Okay.
At that point.
Callie, you're up.
I'm gonna go fly and get him.
Yep.
And just go grab him.
Yep. You
Okay.
go. You fly over in that direction where you saw them, and quickly as you get out of the palace, the fog dissipates and you are able to see them there.
Can I grab them?
Yep. Make an athletics check for me to haul them up.
Grab the rope, middle of the rope. It's like a long dumbbell.
We're a bolo. We're a bolo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better. 26.
26. Yeah, you managed
So
to
strong.
yank them up.
So hot. So
No
strong.
problem. And you pull them back up onto the ground. That is your that's your action to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
All right, we are back to letters.
Have we done a flippy do this turn?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No flippy doos, please.
Did not flip.
Thank God.
Letters.
Letters, having seen this crack, and just even though no one else saw it, he knows what he did. He is going to try to like sort of really take a look. He knows sand, he knows rock, he knows how it all fits together, and he's going to try to like push on it and like remember the technique that he learned with his Kruha. That it's like, it's not about strength. You don't just muscle through everything. It's also about technique. He's going to bend his legs. He's going to keep his back straight. He's going to like put his shoulder into it. And I would like to try to force it using my newly minted athletics proficiency.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh hell,
Absolutely.
crew ha.
Ooh, yeah, 28.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
As you clear the largest, with one of the larger tubes, you hear this kind of deep resonant sound kind of echo through the palace as you've now cleared 3 of them.
Hell yeah, way to go, team.
And I'm going to fly over to the next big one.
All right.
Or
So
whatever,
you-
whatever the next biggest one that is still open.
It was over
Oh,
by
on-
where
yeah.
Callie was. Callie had left, but you just kind of go across to it.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Callie's got that jar ready to go, and I'm just going to
All right.
finish that one off.
All right. It is now Finnan. You're up.
So I'm at the top, right?
Mhm.
And it's flying next to me.
Yeah.
Sick. I'm gonna swing my sword at it. 2 times.
Ooh,
What up?
your new pretty sword.
One of those is a 19.
That hits.
One of those, a little critical roll symbol. Natural
Nice.
20.
Ayo.
Yeah, roll that damage.
Oh, we
And
love
so,
it.
I'm gonna Eldritch Smite on the natural 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna do it on D&D Beyond because that is.
Smite yourself silly. Just smite yourself silly. Just do that.
It's 6. It's 12d8 plus the sword. Sorry. As a bonus action before I do that, I cast Spirit Shroud, which is a bonus action spell that adds more damage to when I hit.
Okay, I'm gonna say not this time. You got to do it before you roll the hits. You can't do it post.
I won't. Then
critting.
I won't. Like I'll cast it next turn if I have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
13 and then 1d8 from. Fuck me, that started
meow,
making
meow, meow.
noise.
Oh.
Plus. Sorry, 1 sec. Plus.
No, big damage. Big damage.
11, 22, 77 points
Oh
of
my
slashing and necrotic and force damage.
Nice.
Spicy,
And
spicy.
importantly, it's knocked prone. Another way prone works when you're flying is you are knocked to the ground if you are flying, unless you're being held aloft by the fly spell or you can hover. So,
Hate to ruin your buzz, dude, but isn't that huge or lower on an Eldritch Smite?
oh, you're correct. You're correct. Yeah, this thing is
Yeah.
too big.
Rules, lawyer.
In my
killing the
brain, I'm
fun.
imagining a regular sized bird, but it's not a regular sized bird.
Yeah, it's immune to being prone.
Very,
Yeah.
very big. Yeah.
Large
Again?
Not
bird.
prone, but I do 77 points of damage to it.
Large bird
Yes.
says no.
No.
No bird.
This bird is prone to staying standing.
Whoa, gross. I loved
My
it.
guy.
That's our show, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Good night.
Where
It is
failure is
now the lair action.
Where failure is fun.
Ooh. The air becomes thin once again. I need everyone to make a con save for me, please.
Ooh, yeah.
Black and Neppy get my bonus.
Yes, they
Oh
do.
no.
Ooh, Quack is okay.
That's a good one.
What'd you get, Sean?
21.
You're good.
21.
23.
21, you're good. You're good.
14.
That's a failure. You take
Yeah.
1 point of exhaustion.
Flex your brain.
Mr. Letters.
Yeah, I'm doing some math.
Can I add exhaustion on conditions?
No, I couldn't get it high enough. That's just good. That's gonna be a 9.
Oh,
1 point of exhaustion.
if I didn't use my bonus action to cast a spell, I would have speared it instead.
Okay.
I
yeah.
realized, yeah, because I have a lot going on in my action economy, and so it's that's a 22 to hit, and
Yeah.
that's just plus 2, 8, 13 points of piercing damage.
Nice. Yeah, it's looking hard. It's looking hurt. It's definitely looking hurt, that one. All right. It is now Kale's turn.
I'm gonna find another hole.
Okay. You
Put my
could-
sword in it.
You could get over the one by letters, or you could go over to the one by where Clack and Neppy are. You'd have.
I want to steal Letters' hole.
Okay, you go over to the big hole, the other big hole, where Callie had been. All right.
And that's a athletics.
Yes, please.
That's going to be a 22.
Yes, that'll do it. As you clear another hole, you hear another resonant chime as this whole
So-
thing is almost vibrating with the noise.
I run over. I stick the sword in right before Letters gets there. I give it a twirl. I give him a wink, and then I take off again.
So you start heading towards the middle so you can get to the other medium-sized hole.
That
Um,
energy is like I'm set up at the urinal and I'm just unbuttoning my pants. You rock up to the urinal right beside me, just fully like
goes
drain
up
the
to
main
your-
vein.
Yeah, no.
faster than me.
Importantly, he peed into your. He kind of pushed his hip next to yours, leaned and peed, looking you in the eyes, and then ran away.
I'm so
And
happy
winked.
that I don't have this.
Same
issue.
energy. Same energy.
Also, for the ladies out there, this is what happens
It is.
in the men's bathrooms
Yeah.
all the time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's such a
No.
power move. To
Joe,
Alright,
run.
it's the
the-
Joe
Steal
Wilkinson
a
bit
hairy
of
urinal.
"You're welcome, I just named your penis." So
Yes,
he
it's so
names-
good.
He names people's penises at public urinals.
The rock is going to attack you, Finnan. So the first attack is a 30, and the second is a 32.
Oh, neither of those
Yikes.
hits.
So
I'm
the-
just too
both the
powerful.
beak,
Yeah, absolutely.
Both the
yeah.
beak and the talons. The
Yes.
beak will be 24 points of piercing damage for the beak,
Yes, sir.
and then
So many dice.
23 points of slashing damage for the talons, and you are grappled.
Cool beans.
All right. It is now Neppy's turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go over to the
You're
pillar.
at the small one. You can try to clear it.
Yes, I'm gonna try and clear that same way I did before.
Clack is helping. Roll
Yeah, Clack
straight.
is helping, so you can make an athletics check at advantage for this one.
Technically now it's a straight roll because most of my ability checks have all of my ability checks have
Actually,
disadvantages because I'm exhausted.
With the small ones, you're just able to clear it. The
Great.
other small one, you didn't have to make a check. The
Great.
small ones, you can just clear. It's only the larger or the medium.
So that's
you
5
and
we
Clack,
have clear now?
You have 5 clear.
Oh, yes.
And again, this whole thing is kind of like vibrating with the resonance.
And we're gonna start running over to the. I don't know if that would take all of our movement. Whatever movement we have left, we're gonna go over to the next.
You'll be able to get to the other medium one. You run around the edge.
No, because I know that the pearl is coming from above, and we're right side up. So I'm assuming, in my brain, that the pearl has to drop, or we have to go get it. So I am going to yell at my team, go clear the last medium one, and I'm going to go stand in the center and look up. I know that there's fog right now and I can't really see anything, but I'm going to try and keep my eye looking for the pearl.
The volleyball
Red
player.
initiative
right
count 10.
I'm ready to spike. Right here.
Oh. It stays right side up.
He's so upset about it. So upset
I
about
really
So
wanted to
happy.
flip. Callie, you're up.
Can I go hit the bird?
No,
Or-
the bird is up by Finnis. You could fly up there, yeah? Or you could fly to the last hole.
Oh, there's one last hole. Yeah. I'll go fly to the hole.
Okay. So you know what you're looking for now, so you know where it is. And that's an athletics check for me, please.
Oh, that's 22.
Oh yeah. With ease, you manage to free the last one as the whole thing begins to vibrate. And you hear kind of a soft kind of like clinking above you as the fog kind of dissipates. And you watch as the rock lets go of Finnan.
Okay.
All right, Letters, you're up.
Well, I got a good feeling about that guy. All the Holzman, I'm gonna fly up to the roof.
Mhm.
Gonna dash to the pearl.
Yep, you see it. It's sitting there in the bottom of the nest.
I'm gonna scoop it.
Mhm.
Use the rest of my movement to come on back. Yeah, Misty step an extra 30 feet, so I'm directly above Neppy, and say catch, and
you
drop it
drop
at
it.
her waiting hands.
Yep, you grab it. Would you like to stay in initiative? We can drop out of initiative at this point.
I'm happy to drop
I'm
out.
happy to drop out
I'm
of
happy to
initiative.
drop out of initiative.
I would-
Well, get me out of this initiative.
I would drop concentration and let the other rock reappear. Now that I
Yeah,
sense
they
that
like-
they're not.
You can see it like there's sort of like it lands and notices the fog is gone, and it kind of like fit in unless you want to attack.
No,
this
I'm just gonna like, with my back to the ground, just like drift down to the floor.
yeah.
And I'm
As
gonna-
it like you
I'm
watch
gonna-
as it kind of like climbs and like crawls over back into the nest, and the other one kind of pulls back and takes off up to the nest.
gather up motes of light and pull them into myself and heal myself for a little bit.
All right, so do you place the pearl back in the mouth?
I'm gonna give it to Callie to place it.
Okay.
Callie's got the mark.
So Callie, you come up and
Yeah.
place the pearl back in the mouth, and you watch as the pearl kind of the jaws of the winged serpent kind of close in on it, and you watch as the serpent begins to melt into the marble cloud, and where the kind of hole where it was starts to expand through the marble, and the marble shifts and changes into an archway. And you can see through this archway that kind of shimmering blue sky color, and there is another set of words written over the top. It says, in Orin, you can see, step into the breach, but breach not the seal, for breached defenses doth breached men yield. I'll put that in our chat, and this is where we're going to take our break.
Whoa! Holy
riddle shit.
bananas! We love
Okay,
that.
so what we gotta do is we gotta breach everything.
Breach your breaches. No. Thank you to everyone who has rated us and is hanging out with us. Thank you all to all of you who have. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have 1,696 followers at the moment. So it's a really lovely backwards number, and we like that a lot. We are going to be on a break here. Also, thanks to Tales of Arisia for the raid earlier. Not sure if you're still in here, but thanks so much, y'all. And thanks for everyone for sticking around. We will be back in a tight 10.
See you
Okay.
shortly.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
hey guys, it's me, Adam, and I'm here to talk to you about the sponsor for tonight's episode, Legendcraft. Legendcraft is a Canadian woodworking company that makes D&D and tabletop gaming tables and accessories. They are a couple of passionate crafters that create items that will instantly become a highlight of any tabletop or RPG player's game night. An absolute favourite of mine is the Mountain King board gaming table. This table is bonkers cool, looking like it is straight out of a Dwarven King's Hall. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen. We feel really good about endorsing this Canadian business that brings so much passion into something we care so deeply about. So head over to their Instagram at legendcraft.ca to have a look at what they're making and let them know that Blackwater sent you. And if any of you fall in love with any of their amazing products, you can go to their website and use the promo code Blackwater for 5% off. It supports a Canadian business and also helps support our stream in this crazy D&D game we love. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Boy.
Oh boy. That was close. Thank y'all so much for sticking around. Tim.
Yeah.
So you see this archway before you with that kind of shimmering blue light. What would you like to do?
Is it written in the same hand as the other
Looks
scroll?
similar to the other etching on
Yeah,
that
the one that
same...
said all about the pearl.
Yeah.
Can I look around? Is there any sort of Caraxian iconography anywhere?
Make an investigation check.
Guidance on myself as I do so.
Can I pick up what she's putting down and see
Sure.
if I can investigate? What's this?
I'm gonna
say?
look
'Cause
around.
My head
Instead
felt
of
sleepy.
me investigating, I'm going to give letters advantage.
Do you have proficiency with investigation?
No, but I got a
Then-
big brain, okay?
You cannot do that.
I'm gonna look around.
then
with
I'll roll
my
myself.
Mega
18.
eyes.
18.
That's going to be for investigation for me. That's a +2. That is a 16.
16. Neither of you see any iconography of Arathis.
Okay.
Kel would like.
This palace seems old, very, very old.
Kale would like to see if there's a feather from the birds we fought.
Okay, make an investigation check. What was yours? Finnan?
Oh, what do I see in the ethereal plane in this area?
You wouldn't see much that is different than sort of a reflection of this world. You that's actually where you see the feathers of these birds, these elemental birds. As Kale, what was your investigation check?
13.
13. Yeah, you don't find any feathers, but you can see them kind of like sort of wispy feathers that kind of dot the island. But no, it looks remarkably similar in the ethereal plane.
And I don't notice any hidden doors hidden by magic or anything covered by illusion.
Nope.
Cool. True sight does nothing for me. But I've
Not
got
in
it
this
for an
particular
hour.
instance. Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's
Go.
do it.
I'm gonna heal myself real quick.
Yes, who's injured? Who looks injured amongst the party?
Me?
Kale, you can have a...
I mean, give more to. I'm hurt, but
Yeah.
I'm not as hurt.
I gave myself 25, Tim. Sorry, I hit my mic.
Oh, good.
Letters is looking a little scuffed up, but he's doing all right.
Okay. We'll do a 2nd level cure wounds for letters.
Thank you.
So you can have 16 points of healing back.
Love that.
Then how's Finnan looking?
He's all right. He's fine.
Kale, paint me a picture. How are you looking?
Like 80%.
Okay. You can also have a 2nd level cure wounds.
Tim.
Was I
Oh,
first?
farts.
in classic Finnan fashion, as my ghostly gaze only lasts for like 45 more seconds, I'm just gonna zoom around looking at stuff like as closely as I can to just see if I see anything like hidden behind
You
stone.
can see the pillars are hollow,
Yeah.
which is quite neat, and you do kind of see the structure of this thing better, and it is essentially like a giant, almost like a wind chime, but it doesn't move. It just uses the sort of tubes to create these whistles essentially.
17 points of healing to Kale.
Thank you.
Oh,
And you
wow.
can see the two rocks are once again nesting in that giant nest up at the top,
24.
Cool.
kind of peacefully resting.
That is going to be 29 points of healing to Callie.
Thank you.
Okay, so if we pump a 4th level Cure Wounds in there. All right. And I know we were chatting about this ferociously over the break, but without replaying the entire conversation we had in character, basically, I would summarize saying something about like that the gods sealed that as punishment for their role in the Dawn War, the Titans were sealed away. So this inscription may have something to do with the fact, like the "don't break the seal" bit means don't break the thing that keeps them here. But I'm not sure about the breach defenses. Doth breach men yield?
Let's cross this threshold, and then we'll cross a few bridges when we come to them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So you all enter through the portal.
Sure.
Okay. So as you all walk through the portal, you step onto the other side, and you see that as you pass through, the portal kind of fades behind you, and you watch as you are in kind of a tunnel-like shape. The ground beneath you is a whitish platform that looks almost like a solid flat cloud. The walls seem to be spinning, almost as if they are made of wind, like a tornado funnel. And you can see the tunnel ahead of you is moving side to side. Like you can see that it's moving like a snake. And that, like, as you walk through, the funnel behind you kind of closes, and there is no sound.
I'll walk forward. I'll take the lead on this one.
Okay. So you begin walking down the tunnel.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to stay in the middle of the party. Everybody's within 30 feet of me.
I'll go behind letters.
Okay.
I'm actually letters. Can I just in case there's any like invisible or magically hidden things, I'll be able to see them first. Can I take the lead?
Yeah, dude.
As you say that, Finnan, you finish your thought and your breath is exhaled, and you go to breathe in and you can't. You begin to suffocate.
Cool.
Letters, you felt a bit of wind come out as you watched him start to speak. Normally it's your con modifier and plus your it's your what is it? It's your con modifier. Sorry, I had this up a second
That's the
ago.
number of minutes.
I think it's con modifier is minutes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you do not have any breath left, then your con modifier is the number of rounds that you can survive. So letters, because you started to speak, you knock off a minute from your con modifier.
Copy that.
And do I make sound when I talk?
No sound comes out.
I mean, so like logically speaking, I wouldn't have said the whole sentence.
You lose all your breath. Like you go to speak normally and you go to breathe in again and there's nothing.
Okay. All right.
You wouldn't assume you wouldn't know that it's a vacuum. You would assume it would.
No, I know, but I'm saying
silence.
if he started to speak and no sound came out, he would have just stopped speaking. I wouldn't have said the whole sentence.
You're still suffocating though.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, your con modifier. So if it's a +1, you have 1 minute.
Yeah.
So 10 rounds.
Yep. So I'll have everyone roll.
So I've used up all 4 minutes of my. Right.
Yeah. I'll have everyone roll initiative.
Letters forgot to cast telepathic bond before we left. Oopsies.
All right. So 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
16.
Does this count as an ability check?
Which
Yes.
The
Initiative,
con
yes.
modifier? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Let me re-roll that.
not your con modifier, your initiative.
Initiative does.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is a
15.
greatly different addition. Very different.
All right. And
4.
4.
4 also.
Also 4. But I rolled
Y'all
a
are
natural
gonna-
1.
With dex
Rolled a
wise.
3. My dex is +1.
My dex is also +1. You want to do rollies?
Yeah. It's a d20?
Yeah.
13.
11. So I guess it's Callie.
Callie.
Callie, then Neppy.
Callie, Neppy, Finnan. Unless Finnan's dex overrules that.
It's +3.
So yeah, if we go Finnan, Callie, then Neppy.
All right. So you watch as Finnan begins to suffocate. Kale, you're up first.
So just
As
How
far as you
long-
can see, the tunnel continues ahead. It's hard to tell exactly how far because it is shifting kind of side to side.
no, but I just mean for in terms of like suffocate. He only has 3 turns.
No, I've
3
dropped to
rounds.
0 hit points. If I'm
Not
if-
immediately. No. You have.
No, so you have up to your con modifier, 1
Tim
plus
might
your
have
con
different rules for this one.
modifier, and then if you start suffocating, you drop to 0. Once you run out of breath, you're at 0.
You can survive a number of rounds equal to your con mod. So he basically has 3 rounds before he dies.
4 rounds.
4 rounds.
Okay. And if you have +1, it's 1 minute. If you have 0, it's like if your modifier was 0, you have no, you can't hold your breath at all. Or-
You can hold your breath essentially for as long as your con modifier. So it would be, you'd have 4 rounds before you started suffocating.
Okay. So what I would like to do is is Kale able to see what's happening? Is he able to assess what's happening to Finnan?
Yes. Yeah. You would see
Okay.
Finnan, like his eyes kind of roll back.
You'll see him. He's going to run up to Finnan. He's going to grab him. He's going to swing him down, and he's going to blow half of his air into Finnan's mouth.
Okay. Yeah.
And then with my bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step 30 feet down the tunnel.
Okay. I will. I'll have you make a medicine check to see how successful this is.
How tight is your embouchure that you can really get a nice airtight seal?
17.
Yes, you manage to Finnan. You come back up with 1, and you have. We'll say you have enough air for 4 rounds, basically, as if you were at your.
So 4 each. Well, I guess 4 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step 30 feet.
30 feet. Okay. All right. Letters.
Letters got caught wind of this. He's got halftime. He is going to. There's no like turbulent air around this pathway. You know what I mean?
No. You can see the walls are moving. So like if you got too close to the walls, you think that could hurt.
Letters knows currently he's like, yeah, Letters is just gonna scoot ahead 60 feet. Does he see anything once he gets there?
No, with the bending of it, not
Great, then
not
he'll
yet.
dash to make it 120.
Okay.
I guess I would have used my movement
Okay. So yeah, 30
as well.
and then
So
another
30 and then
60
dash,
feet.
there's 60, and then
Yeah,
the
so do keep
Misty
track
Step
of how
90.
far you get. Yeah.
You got it. $120. Yep. If it still just looks like more of the same at that end, then that's where he's at.
All right. It is now initiative 10. So as you are standing there, the whole thing kind of shifts, and I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
I assume the people close enough to me get my bonus?
Yes. So everyone except for Kale and Letters.
And you still have a flag speed, Callie.
Yeah, I was going to ask if I still had flying speed. That's very sick that I do. Dex?
18. Tim.
Dirty 20.
Is this an ability?
No,
No,
it's a
this
saving
is
throw.
a saving throw.
Oh, good. That's a
Good.
16 then.
Good soap.
Okay, so 18 is a failure, 16 is a failure,
Oh, you
13.
Balls.
13.
Yeah.
13
How
is
is
a
a
failure.
22, Tim?
That's a success.
Big brain flex.
With Callie's bonus, I got a 21.
Nice. That's a success. I'll do for Clack too. That's a failure for Clack too. So for everyone who failed, you get slammed into the wall, and you feel the like intense force of this like tornado funnel slam you into the ground, and you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage. And I need you, those who took damage, I need you to make a con saving throw for me, please.
Tits. My rolls are not it tonight.
21.
21. Okay, you managed to maintain your breath.
15.
15. You let out a bit of your breath, so you have half of what you did.
Okay.
Neppy, did you take any damage? No, you were fine.
No.
Okay. Clack, let's see if he makes a success. No, he fails his con save with a 1 as you watch as he like he coughs out his air. And he is just on his constitution modifier. All right, it is now Finn's turn.
I'll just fly the 120.
Okay, yeah, you get up next to letters.
Can I take Clack with me?
Yeah, you can grab Clack.
Yeah, I'll just scoop Clack and
Yep.
do the 120.
Callie?
My turn now. Do I still have freedom of movement?
Yeah.
Does that make me go any faster or no?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so I'll just go 120 if I dash.
Okay, yeah, you get up next to letters and Finnan and Clack.
I guess it's just me that's next.
Mhm.
I can only go 60 feet, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, so you make it up 60 feet. All right, we are back to the top of the order, Kale.
Kale is going to.
I have a question about air.
Mhm.
I have a minute left. So would this be my first round out of 10
Mhm.
that I have? Okay. And once it gets back to me, that's 2 rounds?
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. Just want to keep trying. All right.
I'm going to use 2 sorcery spells to quicken polymorph. I'm going to polymorph myself into a giant ape.
Okay.
And my con is now +4, so now I have 4 minutes.
I don't know that you
And
get
then
more breath.
Well, I
don't
get all
think
the hit points, right? Like
Yeah,
you get
you-
health.
Yeah, but you don't get
If I
more
was at
breath,
1,
because it's like
what
it's
would
directly
Dunks
like
be filled
that's
with?
air, but like you wouldn't get more air when you polymorph. You would normally just breathe in that extra air, but the air that you have inside of you doesn't get polymorphed. It's not like you're creating new air, it's your physical form, so you have just as much air as you did before, but you're bigger.
Well, that's no fun.
If you've done that
All right,
beforehand,
fine. Well, now I'm just a big fucking
tardigrade.
I'm just a big fucking monkey now.
Does polymorph
and I'm
have
upset.
a verbal component?
yeah, does polymorph
You know-
have a verbal component?
Probably.
Does
This
it
is obviously, as you can tell, I thought this out very well.
it does not go off, and that's your air.
What do you mean it doesn't go off?
You can't use a verbal spell if you can't
I still have
voice
air.
anything.
The verbal component is just
It doesn't make any
So it's-
sound.
okay, fine. This spell slot I have no air. An action. So
You're down.
I'm gonna I pass out.
Oh,
You see Kale, and then he passes out.
Oh no.
All right.
where is Kale in relation to me?
He's 30 feet ahead of you.
Okay.
All right. It is Letter's turn.
Well, Letter sees that. He's still feeling good. He's got a firm grasp of how things work here. He says tardigrade would have been super useful.
You say
He
that?
loses all his air.
No,
It's sad.
thinks that to himself. I'm not gonna kill my character for a dumb bit callback. Come on. If I can, Kale ended up going about 60 feet up, right?
He's
90.
90 feet.
Kale
so
made
he's 30
90.
feet behind you.
Great. I'm gonna go 30 feet back. I'm gonna just try dragging his ass. I got another 120 feet of movement. Cut that in half because I'm hauling a human. I got 60 feet further down. I've gone 180. How's
Okay.
that
Yep.
for
Yeah,
math?
you're at 180. Yep. Absolutely. All right. It is initiative 10. So I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw. Those who are carrying other people, that's a disadvantage. So that'd be Finnan and Letters.
Oh yeah.
But
And what about those who are unconscious?
Yo, I am fucking.
Well, this is
hot
to
right now.
basically save you from, if they can hold on, then they'll be fine.
woof.
22 without Kali's bonus.
Nice. Yeah. So you
I
managed
rolled
to,
a 19 and a natural 20.
yeah, kind of swerve with the natural movement.
That's gonna be a 25 for me.
Okay. Yeah.
12.
15.
15. Okay. That's a failure. So Nepenthe, you get slammed into the side. And what was yours?
12.
12. Okay. You also get slammed with Kale. So that's 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and I'll need you to make con saves. Kale, you fail 2 death saving throws.
I maintain concentration, and let's see about this con save. Okay, fucking con is pretty good. That's +5, +7. How does 16 sound?
Yep. That's
Oh,
enough.
great.
Yep.
Shit.
You know the worst thing about suffocating? Creature cannot be stabilized or healed while there's no air available.
Okay. Is it how much damage did we take, Tim? Sorry.
Just 7 points of
Just
bludgeoning
7.
damage.
Okay. Sorry. It was in my brain for a minute.
Hey guys.
Hey.
We breached the seal, which was our mouths.
Yes.
Fucking.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, what was your con save?
Oh, my
To
con
maintain your
save.
breath. Yeah.
No, it was a 15.
A 15. Yeah, that is
With
not
my
quite a-
ad?
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
no,
not
I'm
near
never
you.
close enough.
Not near.
Balls.
I'm so far back from everyone else.
Yeah, so you cough out your breath. You haven't started suffocating yet, but you are now just at the rounds equal to your con modifier.
Sounds good.
All right, it is now Finnan's turn.
I just go another 120.
Okay, make what's your passive perception is
25.
25. Okay, so now that you're 240 feet ahead, you can see about 60 feet from you, it looks like the tunnel, instead of opening up like a funnel, it kind of curves in, and there looks to be a pedestal with something on it. It's difficult to tell because it is swerving, but there looks to be a pedestal at the end with something on it. All right, it is Callie's turn.
I'm 120 feet up. How far is Neppy from me?
I am 60 feet behind you.
Yeah.
60 feet.
You
behind me.
probably couldn't see me at that far. I don't know.
Can I see her?
Yeah, make a perception check.
That's gonna be in 23.
Yeah, you can make her out just as this thing is kind of like sliding side to side like a snake.
How does she look? Can I tell if she looks little?
At that distance, like you can tell she's just getting up from falling down. It's difficult to tell exactly how she's feeling, but you did see her just get up from the ground.
She's 60 feet behind me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wait for Neppy.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand
Okay.
there and wait for Neppy.
Neppy.
I'm going to move another 60 feet.
Okay.
Am I up with Callie?
Yep, you're right next to her.
'Kay.
Okay. All right.
I just make the this motion.
Hale, I need you to make a death saving throw for me, please.
13.
15. So that's a success. You can't stabilize, but that is a success. All right, it is now Letter's turn.
Adam,
Yo.
because you said I fly another 120, I can only assume that you flew solo and didn't bring Clack, because bringing a person halves your movement. Would you confirm? Please say yes.
Sure.
Right? Because that's rules is written. Great. I'm going to drop my man Kale. I'm going to fly over to Clack. I am going to, because I am very familiar with everything that he's got on his person, I'm going to take his ring of water breathing, fly back over to Kale, put that on his, I'm going to fucking fill his mouth with the fucking canteen I got of water, fucking
done.
seal that shit
Yes.
shut, and put the ring on him.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fucking genius.
yes.
Clack has a ring of water walking and water breathing because we're
Yes.
so worried about our Densten's boy.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hell yes.
Yeah, he he kind of looks at you and is like, and he's at his con modifier, but he's okay.
And I'm
But
just
yeah,
gonna
as you
give him the
pour the
canteen.
water, what would normally choke someone, Kale, you haven't, you're still at 0 hit points, but you are breathing. You don't know how, but there is breath now.
Oh my
That's
god.
amazing.
And I just like hand the fucking canteen to him.
Brilliant.
Or is Clack also dying?
No, Clack is just at his con mod, so he has not gone unconscious yet.
Okay, we'll circle back to him.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I give Kale the canteen.
Okay, you
That's
put it
so
in his hand.
smart.
He's still
So
unconscious
smart.
because he's at
And
0
I
hit
just
points.
keep my hand on his
But you just
nose, just so he doesn't like sputter, like that
amazing.
one scene.
So do I move on my own now?
You're still at 0.
When you're brought back up, you're at 0 at the moment,
Oh,
but you
okay.
can be brought back up now. Importantly,
Okay.
Well
it-
done.
And so I think that would be
good.
like my action, bonus action, and movement to like zip there and
Yep.
back.
Well done.
I was gonna do alter self, but it's
Beautiful.
got a verbal
That's
component.
fucking sick, dude.
That's so sick.
All right, it is now initiative 10.
Oh,
So
beans.
letters, you can try to keep him from bumping into the sides.
Well, I'm gonna have to, otherwise he'll just straight up die.
All right, so deck saves.
Is it a disadvantage because he's breathing now, or is it? Just...
You're not carrying him; he's on the ground. So I'll say it's just a straight roll.
Oh, you're the best. Tim.
Nippy gets my bonus now.
Well, hell, that's great for me. That's a dirty 20 for me.
Nice
That's a 13 for me.
failure for you. So you slam into the side,
Hell yeah, brother.
and you take
Hell yeah, brother.
11 points of bludgeoning damage, as does Clack, who's next
Yeah.
to you. Letters.
Yeah.
5 plus 8 is 15. Flex my brain, 19.
That's just enough.
I also got a 19.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's just enough. All right, so yeah, you managed to kind of like hold on to Kale, and you managed to kind of stabilize yourself in the middle and not slide side to side. And you use his body kind of as an anchor. Callie, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please. Clack is also going to make
I
this.
would love to. Does Clack get my bonus now that he's near me?
He does. That is not enough
Hits.
for him.
That's enough for me. That's a 24.
24. Yeah, so you're fine. You managed to maintain your breath, but you watch as Clack slams into the side, and then he coughs, and he is now suffocating. He drops to 0. All right, it is Finn's turn.
How far am I from the pedestal, did you say?
You are you're 60 feet from it.
Oh, I will fly to it. What's at the pedestal?
Okay. You see there is a stone pedestal with a small paper pinwheel that is not moving.
I spin it.
It doesn't, as you push down on it, it doesn't move.
With the last... Fuck it. I'll go to 0 if I have to. With the last of my breath, I go... onto
So
the
as
pinwheel.
you like push with all of your like diaphragmatic power, you push out what little breath you have, and you watch as the whole thing just kind of spins, and this like huge waft of white cloud spins out from it, and you watch as the funnel opens up, and you see the cloud kind of turn and weave into the air, and out probably about 100 feet from you, the words "leap" come into view, written in the sky.
Okay.
You all feel this rush of air down the tunnel.
I acquiesce and I jump.
Okay, you leap off the edge.
Are we still in initiative, Tim?
You can drop out of initiative. Clack is at 0, as well as Kale.
If there's air, I'm running to who's closer to me, Clack?
Clack is right next to you.
I am going to reach. How far is Kale from me?
Kale is up another 60 feet from you.
Can I run up a 60 feet?
You can
and
fly
heal
up
Kale?
60 feet.
Can I fly up and heal Kale?
I'm gonna reach down and heal Clack.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Oh yeah. Right.
You go ahead, Em.
No, because I'm near Clack.
Well, yeah,
you would rather.
Clack
You bring him up.
first.
Yep.
Yeah, I go down to Clack, and since he's at 0 hit points, I'm going to use I just get Circle of Mortality, so he gets max hit points on a 3rd level Cure Wounds.
Nice.
So he gets 20, or 8, 16, 24, 29 hit points.
Nice. As he kind of, let's get out of here.
I go, come on, buddy, let's go, and then we go.
And so, as I'm just on Kale, I would like to place my hand just sort of like right on his chest, sort of 1, 2, and I try to remember what me and Makruha practiced about, how everybody is connected through the web of life, and trying to remember what Callie taught me about, that the love for others is a power for good, is a power for change, in the same way that like the mental will that I carry affects the physical world around me. And I put my hands on Kale's chest and I say, and I would like to cast 5 points of Lay on Hands
Let's
to
go.
Kale.
Let's
Just as
go,
you
let's
run
go.
up, Callie, you watch as Letters kind of brings this breath of life into him. As Letters, you can see this kind of green thread between you, and you see this kind of golden light come up to meet yours. As Kale, you breathe in, and it's the strangest sensation as you feel this big rush of water sink into your lungs, but you feel this rush of energy come back as you just breathe this big gulp of water, but you are awake and alive.
I pull him up to his feet and I say to Callie, as I see that it's time to go, I'm like, I got his engine started, but you should probably top him up.
This would have been my first time seeing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Amazing.
I would top Kale up. I would give him 15 more.
There we
All right.
go.
So you continue to dash out as you watch as the whole thing is
Yep.
kind of moving. The tunnel is open as you see that leap written in the sky as you jump out.
We
I'll
leap.
I'll give Kale 20 more. Sorry.
All right.
So you have 5 more than I said.
Thank
So
you.
you all leap. Finnan, you are quite a bit ahead now.
Yeah, because
As
I'm
you are
not.
just-
I'm not actively trying to fly. I'm just falling.
You are just free falling in the sky, in this beautiful, all-encompassing sky. It is all around you. No clouds in sight, just blue skies. You continue to fall and fall and fall for what feels like minutes, hours. The time seems to shift. Like it's hard to tell how much time has gone by. You've been falling for so long. And Finnan, you see at first a small dot beneath you slowly get larger and larger and larger as you see a platform, a stone platform with the symbol of Akadi below you, as you are rushing towards it incredibly quickly, almost terminal velocity.
Yep.
As you feel yourself tumbling and tumbling and tumbling, and 20 feet as it's now taking up most of
I
your
like
vision.
to think Finnan is in like a tight fucking straight dive, just straight like head
You're gonna go
first.
right through it. You feel all of a sudden this pillow of air as you feel yourself kind of catch and soften as you land on the ground. Maybe a minute later, all of your friends, you all feel that cushion of air as you land on this symbol of Akadi. And you look around out into the sky on this small floating island. and you see something flying towards you. Pretty remarkable speed. Even larger than the birds you had seen before, but similar in shape. But you can see this with bluish purple feathers as it gets larger and larger. This massive rock circles over the island and around before flying directly up. And then you watch as its form shifts and falls onto the ground as a massive giant stands up. You see a cloak of feathers over its shoulder, a rock head mounted, as it looks at all of you. And it reaches into its bag, and it pulls out a small tea set and lays it out before you. What would you like to do?
I sit down.
I
sit
know.
down.
Yeah.
I go on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take a seat.
we'll take a seat.
You watch as this massive figure comes and sits with you and lays out the tea. And you can see it sets up almost like a small stone stove. And it kind of looks to all of you and kind of gestures towards the stove.
I light it.
Oh,
At the same time.
Does that mean it double lights and is a little bit too much?
And it like kind of bows its head. And you watch as over the next 30 minutes, it very deliberately makes this tea. Kind of pulls out all of its ingredients in this beautiful kind of clay pot.
In that time, I weave some of the firelight into Kale and try to close up some of his... Well, I guess he's not physically wounded. He just had no lungs. So I soothe his aching lungs with some firelight. 6, 9, 14. Nope,
watch as
sorry. I rolled 3d8, but I wouldn't be in my form anymore. 10.
All right. You see the giant hands out this tea set. Cups are not huge in your hands. They look like small for the giant, but, large for you.
Bowls.
They're like those big cappuccino cups that you get from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only acceptable size of coffee mug.
You kind of hold it, and you watch as the giant sits and kind of blows to cool the tea, the steam kind of rising in front of its face. You watch on the horizon as a storm starts to come into view. And the rain starts. As it starts to move over the island, continues to drink the tea. And then as the storm comes closer and closer to the island, it stands up. It collects the tea set from you. She is coming. Puts the
Thank
tea
you.
set away. And you watch as it turns. And as the storm is close, almost over the island, it walks off into the clouds. As the storm kicks up and begins to get heavier and heavier and heavier over this small floating island, you can feel bursts of wind as it goes. And you are in the thick of the storm for what feels like hours, battered by rain and wind. It is cold, it is intense. And finally, the wind starts to subside as it seems you've approached the eye of the storm. And you feel this wind start to encircle the whole island. As you look around, you can see the massive Titan now completely encircling the island as the head of Akadi rises up on the other side of the platform. Its massive mouth looks to almost be large enough to completely engulf this thing and swallow it whole. As it rises up and looks down at all of you, you see Akadi. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Whoa!
Holy shit. Just having tea while we're waiting for a Titan. No pressure.
So cool.
No pressure. Oh my gosh, everyone. Oh, that little music spot at the end, so nice.
So good.
Shout out again to Sirenscape for doing
Yeah.
all that kind of good stuff, and Tim for creating some very nice, masterful soundscapes. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us this evening. Please come back on Wednesday. We are back for DM Roulette, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, with our wonderful special guests, Jay Casual and Jasper William Cartwright from 3 Black Halflings. So excited to have them join us, and we will be back on Saturday one more time. Same great time, same great channel for this wonderful campaign. And how many weeks are we from the subathon? 2?
2 episodes.
December 5th, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard. Mark your
Be-
calendars.
Dude.
Mark your calendars.
Then mark your calendars
yeah.
for the next 7 days.
Oh, yeah.
gonna be
7 days
busy.
of content. So be careful out there, because you might breach the seal a bit too early and have to drag your friends home at the end. So be
Be
safe.